News breaks like you wouldn't believe. A big story hits and we're all over it. Work the phones. Who can we get? OJ, Million Man March, Rabin assassination. Politics hits the road. International, book a satellite, whatever it takes. Sometimes we change the show 10 minutes before we're on the air because you never know what's going to happen. Never.
Brought to you by your local Jeep dealer, home of the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Moneyline News Hour, weeknight 6:30 Eastern on CNN.
Showbiz This Weekend is just ahead, but first a quick check of our top stories. Federal agents believe the man arrested Tuesday in Seattle is associated with the terrorist network of Osama bin Laden. The 32-year-old Algerian native was charged yesterday with transporting nitroglycerin into the U.S. He was arrested Tuesday after arriving by ferry from British Columbia. U.S. authorities suspect he may have been planning an attack during Millennium celebrations in downtown Seattle. They left a year ago, and the return of weapon inspectors to Iraq remains uncertain. Baghdad today formally rejected a UN resolution that would have given Baghdad a reprieve on sanctions if inspections resumed. Iraq's deputy prime minister called the UN vote a trick, but many observers believe Iraq will accept the resolution after some negotiations. Rainy weather is keeping the shuttle Discovery from starting a trip to the Hubble Space Telescope. NASA called off last night's launch and will try again tonight, but more of the same weather is expected. NASA has said tonight would be the last opportunity until January. Officials now say they will evaluate a possible launch tomorrow. Well, that's our show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kira Phillips. Stay tuned for CNN Showbiz This Weekend, starting right now.
Coming up on Showbiz This Weekend, Robin Williams shows his mettle as a robot with a heart in Bicentennial Man. Jodie Foster crosses swords with Chow Yun-fat in Anna and the King. And Gina Davis falls in love with a mouse in Stuart Little. Oh, hi, Bill Tush here for Showbiz This Weekend. I was just having my underarms waxed here. Incredible special, $10. Can you believe it? But this is what's amazing. We're here on 1st and 61st, and what do I stumble across but Dangerfield's Comedy Club right next door, where I had the old hairs pulled out of my arms, and they're having a 30th anniversary party, and I think what we're going to do is sneak in there and see if Rodney Dangerfield himself is in there and possibly some other big stars, and they've all appeared here. 30 years, David Letterman's been here. Who else did I see on the wall earlier? Billy Crystal. I just gave it away that I was in here earlier, but ignore that. And so many others, including Robin Williams, who's in a new movie called Bicentennial Man. He plays a robot that wants to be a human being. A wonderful Christmas story. And now here's my buddy, Dennis Michael, a human being that wants to be a robot. Just kidding. I love you, Dennis. Just kidding. Let's go inside.
He shows a number of characteristics like creativity, curiosity, friendship.
As far as the factory was concerned, the product was defective. Something wrong with its positronic brain.
It is a household appliance.
But the robot that comes to be called Andrew Martin grows over 200 years in Bicentennial Man, seeking through technical upgrades and simple personal growth to become human. Robin Williams stars as the title character in the film based on the work of a heralded science fiction writer, Isaac Asimov. The Positronic Man is one of the series of Asimov robot stories that began with iRobot. Williams himself is a science fiction fan.
I'm fascinated even by the worst ones I've always watched, you know. Attack of the Killer Vibrators, I'm there. I'm watching amazing, you know, I'm just looking to see what do you think of the future, what is it like? And my favorite big fan is Blade Runner.
In Blade Runner, human killers hunt down escaped robot replicants who turn out to be more vivid and alive than their creators, just as Andrew Martin is more human than many of the humans in his story.
And his is a darker view, but also with the same quest. Those replicants desperate to have, you know, to be, you know, to blend in with humans and basically have a life.
I'm being careful.
Oh my God!
Just relax, relax, relax.
Why did you do that? That wasn't very funny.
Just keeping you on your toes.
I don't have any toes.
You do now.
Of course, it is a Robin Williams movie, and a little comedy is as necessary as electricity to make it run. But Bicentennial Man is not just a couple of hours of robot jokes. It isn't actually about being a robot at all. It's about being a person.
Can the possibility of emotion exist within a machine? No, I mean, I'd be insane to say it's possible now, but it is an interesting element in terms of science fiction and in terms of our future.
What would be if a creature wanted to achieve human status and to be declared a human being? And what would be our prerogatives and what would be the parameters for us to finally say, okay, you're one of us now. You can join the club. As Groucho Marx says, I don't want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member. But it's like that weird, and in the process, it makes us look at, what makes us such a big deal.
Shakespeare might have said, what a piece of work is man, especially when he's still working at it. Is it right? Michael, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
I'll tell you a true story in no respect. God's on the truth. I'm ready to do a show here one night, right? Going back 20 years, whatever it is. I'm ready to walk. As I'm walking on, a guy was sitting over there says me true. He says, Roddy, do me a favor. Before you go on, can I have your autograph and some more butter?
Rodney Dangerfield on stage at Dangerfield's, and here he is in the corner booth with us. Good to see you, sir.
I see you,
Congratulations on 30 years.
30 years.
Boy,
this has the longest longevity of any nightclub, 30 years.
Yeah, I mean...
30 years of throwing out drunks. I mean, half my family don't talk to me, we're very happy that we finally paid off the ice machine, too, so we got that going for us.
And it's lasted.
30 years.
All right. We're
a lot of big stars came out of here in my HBO shows,
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
well, you have the pictures on the walls over there, and I heard you telling somebody before that the picture that gets stolen here the most
is Elvis Presley. That's right. He gets stolen the most.
We're going to go to the movies and come back in a minute. You got some more time to talk to us? Because I know a lot of people want to talk to Rodney.
All right, great.
All right, we're going to go see Stuart Little. It's a movie about a little mouse, and it stars a big lady named Gina Davis and a cute little kid. Family fun Christmas fair.
Boy, okay.
I can tell you.
Sounds, all right, man.
We try to discourage couples from adopting children outside their own species.
Stuart Little, adapted from the classic children's book, leaps onto the big screen. He ain't heavy. He's Jonathan Lipnicki's brother.
It shows that being a family is the best anybody can be. Being a good family. And that shows by the events on Stuart Little.
Hugh Laurie and Gina Davis play the parents.
Of course, each movie has its own challenges, and this one was, in fact, that the lead character never showed up. But that was the main challenge.
And not because that lead character had an attitude.
No, he's very sweet. He's a good little boy. He just didn't exist.
The 3.5-inch tall computer-generated mouse is given a voice by Michael J. Fox. Nathan Lane took on the role of Testy House Cat.
I live on the edge. I walk on the wild side. I'm a ticking time bomb.
Lane got his claws out before for director Rob Minkoff voicing Timon the meerkat in The Lion King.
I'm sort of selective about it, what I do in terms of animation. You don't want to also wear out your welcome. And, it's that, tired old voice again. I'm pretty fed up with that.
Sony ImageWorks made Stuart, starting with sketches and three-dimensional images, eventually creating their own digital techniques. Stuart's head is made up of more than 1 million computer-generated hairs. They digitally shaped Stuart's expressions and movements by referencing a mime artist, Bill Irwin.
In a way, I think Stuart Little it sort of pushes forward in a genre of films that only a few films have been made in, this kind of combining of these two worlds, the world of live action and animation.
You look somewhat like a mouse.
Yeah, well, I am somewhat like a mouse.
Stuart Little inspires thoughts of family, but Lipnicki feels a sense of loss over one of his true loves, baseball. He's still mad because the Dodgers traded catcher Mike Piazza a year and a half ago.
I feel really bad because they traded him. I think it was the stupidest trade ever.
He's a young man with strong convictions.
Well, he's pretty hot stuff. He's awful cute.
A pleasant dilemma. Who's cuter, Lipnicki or the mouse? Paul Verkaman, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
Up next, Tom Cruise talks about Magnolia, a film that may earn him another Oscar nomination. Also, Jodie Foster and Chow Yun-fat bring the story of The King and I to the big screen.
The answer is 4. The answer is 22. The answer is gravity. The answer is The Life of Samuel Johnson.
Now that I've met you, would you object to never seeing me again?
My name is Donnie Smith, and I have lots of love to give. It's not what you hope for. It's not what you deserve. It's what you take.
He's dying. He's dying very, very rapidly.
Sometimes people need a little help. Sometimes people need to be forgiven.
Rated R. Now playing in New York and LA. Starts January 7th everywhere.
Darling, I love you. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Fantastic. Marlene, it has been a real pleasure dating you. Now I'm going to hand you over to Emmett. He'll be completing the marriage process.
Thanks, Steve. She's really neat.
Making a big commitment? Be sure you know who you're dealing with. For home loans on the internet, come to Countrywide.com. You work with us start to finish. Unlike loan sites that pass you off to some lender you've never heard of.
So you like kids, right?
Countrywide.com. Easy. Really.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
So, what is it?
It's Toshiba HD TV.
Toshiba Digital makes home entertainment new all over again. See more, hear more, feel more. With the world's first HD TV with power focus technology. Toshiba Digital, the power to bring people together again.
At Zales, you can get this dazzling 2-carat diamond bracelet for just $2.99. And with any purchase of $99 or more, you can also get these diamond earrings for just $29. At Zales stores or shop online at zales.com.
The information revolution has changed our lives forever. How you manage that change is up to you. CNN.com, the television show about new technology and how it affects you. CNN.com, knowledge for the information age. Today at 12:30 Eastern.
President Gerald Ford, Jay Leno, President Bill Clinton, Mike Wallace.
No wonder he's #1 in primetime talk. Great guests, great talk. Larry King Live, weeknights on CNN.
We are back at Dangerfield's with the man, Rodney Dangerfield himself, who's taken some time to talk to us. You performed here tonight, which you don't really perform here that often, do you?
No, well, it's our 30th anniversary, you know.
I heard you say a line one time when somebody asked you if you ever worked your own club. You said, well, I can't because I can't afford myself.
I can't afford myself. Did I say that?
Which is I thought it was a funny line. Yeah. Well, you have happy holidays. Thanks for letting us come by and see you.
My pleasure.
You know, we're going to leave here and go downtown to the Pierre Hotel where they're honoring Carl Reiner.
Oh, yes?
Like yourself, another legend.
Oh, thank you very much.
So we're going to head down there. But before we do that, we're off to another movie called Magnolia, starring Tom Cruise, William H. Macy, and it goes on and on and on.
I never met a guy like you who loves the movies so much.
I get in free, but don't tell anybody.
Okay, right.
Thanks so much.
Take care, baby.
Magnolia. It's a flower, a boulevard in the San Fernando Valley, and the latest film from the writer-director of the 1997 critically acclaimed Boogie Nights.
These are great.
Are they lizard?
No, they're Italian.
Cut. Terrific.
And you'll see many of the same actors in director Paul Thomas Anderson's latest, almost operatic tale.
I'm Quiz Kid Donnie Smith. I used to be smart, now I'm just stupid. Generally, it's a film about synchronicity.
Live from Burbank, California.
First question for 25. There's a lot of intersecting stories.
See, this is the scene of the movie where you help me out.
It's about life.
Me and him, you understand? There's no one else.
It follows a group of people over the course of 24 hours. And at an intersection of fate and no coincidence, we see how all of these lives are interconnected.
I've read scripts for a long time and looked for different characters. You don't read characters like this.
My agent called and said, Tom Cruise wants to meet you. You know, he's a big fan of Boogie Nights. And I had been starting to formulate Frank T.J. Mackey, the character that he plays in the movie. I was starting to formulate it in my brain. And as I was sort of staring at Tom, I thought, oh, this is going to be fun.
I'm Frank T.J. Mackey. Was that unclear?
Kind of.
Oh, God.
The genesis of John C. Reilly's character goes back to the days when Reilly and Anderson, both fans of the TV show Cops, decided to do their own version of the show.
He followed me around with the camera, a la Cops. And I would drive around in my car and kind of ruminate about my philosophies about life. Okay, well, that is what I wait for. I wait for those calls.
Paul's like family. He is like family. There's a lot of trust because of that. So I'm able to do special things, hopefully.
It's okay. I'm okay.
And action, Julie.
Really lose it when we get in there, okay, Jules? Really lose it.
Paul is really adept at shining a light on the ordinary and showing you how extraordinary it is.
It's the story of one day in the Valley. It's not a small movie. The 29-year-old director is going for the big picture.
Everybody wants redemption. Everybody wants forgiveness. Everybody's looking for love. Everybody does it wrong.
Perhaps it's the perfect film for the new millennium. Gloria Hillard, CNN Entertainment News, Los Angeles.
The epic story of a woman who challenged the heart of a king and inspired a nation.
You have the power to lead your...
Now is not the time to change the way that things are done.
Jodie Foster and Chow Yun-fat star in Anna and the King. Watch CNN Showbiz today for the answers to the Anna and the King trivia quiz and enter at CNN.com. You could find yourself sailing aboard a majestic ocean schooner. Anna and the King, now showing.
Still to come, the general's daughter marches into the video store, and Jodie Foster, Chow Yun-fat, etc., etc., etc.
Never thought we'd get that brother of yours married off.
Yeah, no kidding.
How you doing? How's the kids?
Kids are good. You know, we're thinking of buying a house.
You got the down payment saved?
We're getting there.
How about your credit?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think buying a house is like buying a loaf of bread?
Understanding your credit is the first step toward owning a home. Call for the new free guide on credit from the Fannie Mae Foundation and for a list of lenders and credit counselors.
Of the new millennium, CNN commits its global resources to explore the challenges that will shape our world. 100 hours, 100 issues in a landmark television event, Millennium 2000, beginning New Year's Eve on CNN.
In a home where every child has a place to rest his head.
Good night, you princes of Maine, you kings of New England.
There is one who will risk everything for a chance to follow his heart.
You knew this was going to happen. He's a young man.
Critics rave it's easily one of the best films of this or any year. A 10, emotionally uplifting, a truly great movie.
I love you.
The Cider House Rules, rated PG-13, now in select cities everywhere Christmas Day.
I'm watching you, CNN.
We have made our way to the Pierre Hotel to the Grand Ballroom where tonight, the National Foundation for Jewish Heritage.
Humor and Heritage.
And Heritage Alan King, ladies and gentlemen. I always forget to introduce these legends, but no, you don't need an introduction.
My career is over.
Anyway, you're here tonight to present Carl Reiner with the award that you received this.
I received the first one last year. And that's what happens, you know? It's like the Chinese motto or Chinese myth about if they save you, you know, somebody saves you from suicide.
There's Carl right now.
There's Carl Reiner on television. I thought that Carl, as successful as he's been, has never really, in a sense, been honored or, you know, because he is a standout fellow. And he's probably he has more slashes than anybody in show business. He's an actor slash, producer slash, you know, writer, novelist slash, you know, director. He's an ashtray, you know, he's a couch, he's everything. And I thought that it would be very, you know, very fitting that we honored him.
Alan, thank you for your time. It's good to see you. We're going to go to our home video preview right now, where Dennis Michael is going to tell us about Teaching Mrs. Tingle and the General's Daughter. One's a comedy, one's a drama.
Okay.
But you might get them mixed up. I don't know.
General's Daughter, eh?
Yeah.
That was Travolta.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Let me be blunt. You're going to have to decide on this one, Paul. Are you a soldier or a policeman?
John Travolta heads up quite a fine cast in The General's Daughter, which starts out looking like a brainy thriller, but ends up feeling like tabloid slime thanks to an unnecessarily lurid storyline.
Irony is the opposite of what is or might be expected.
Also too dark for its own good is Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which wastes the considerable talents of Helen Mirren in a movie that can't decide if it's Death and the Maiden or Dawson's Creek. This kind of thing, holding a sadistic teacher hostage to protect a grade point average, has to be handled with a light touch, and it sure isn't handled that way here. Redemption comes with The Red Violin, a sweeping story that covers 300 tempestuous years in the life of a musical instrument that takes it from European gypsy camps to the Chinese Cultural Revolution. The storytelling on display here is sweeping and masterful. The Red Violin is something increasingly rare these days, a film that not only intends to, but succeeds in entertaining grown-ups. See you at the rental counter. Dennis Michaels, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
Gifts to stuff your stockings with. Best Buy, bringing a little magic to life.
Professor, tell us about your discovery.
Absolutely. You can get all your long-distance calls for under $1.
How is that possible?
Just dial 1010-220. It's only 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes and just 9 cents a minute after that.
When do you get these rates?
Every hour of every day.
And no monthly fees.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, no monthly fees.
I told you they'd love it.
Dial 1010-220.
Snow and fog over here, folks. Snow and fog over here. And snow and fog over here. We got a lot of snow and fog. Lots of snow and fog and snow. With Santa's 8 tiny reindeer on strike, the question is, who will guide his sleigh tonight? Now, back to elf cheerleaders in love.
TakeYouShopping.com.
Do you know what your money is doing right now? What if you could put it to work? Start by saving money on internet access and investing it with JB Oxford. We're the only discount brokerage that gives you free internet access. Don't pay hundreds for the internet. Call 1-800-JB-OXFORD. Please, put your money to work.
Anybody that knows Carl Reiner knows Mary Tyler Moore. Of course, everybody knows Mary Tyler Moore, so why'd even say that? But anyway.
And they know Carl Reiner, so.
That's right. You of course, for years, Laura Petrie on his show that he created, and tonight you're here to honor him.
I am indeed. He created the show for himself, and he and Barbara Britton actually filmed a pilot.
Right.
And it didn't make it on the air, but he went back and laid on the beach on Long Island and came up with another plan. What about Dick Van Dyke? And then they started looking for a wife, and they went through every actress in Hollywood, and finally, they chose me.
Did they really talk to that many people before you?
Yes,
no
yes.
kidding. Boy, well, they could have made a wrong choice there, and we wouldn't be here today.
Well, they could have made a wrong choice. Who knows where the show would have gone if they had somebody decent in there.
Oh, wait a minute. You know, you were in one of the funniest scenes in television history with Carl Reiner, and that, of course, the toupee scene.
Oh, wasn't
where you
that
blew his cover, so to speak.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
Do you remember when you were shooting that? Was it as funny to you guys as it was to us?
It was funny to me, and yet there was a part of me that could not help being outside myself watching Carl's performance, because he was quite manic as Alan Brady, and he went from wiglet to wiglet to wiglet, talking to them, talking to me, and then referring to the wigs. And it was magic watching him, his timing.
Oh.
So I had to be truly on my toes.
They'll probably show that tonight.
I hope so.
I bet they do.
Oh, yeah.
Mary and Rhoda, the reunion show,
Yes.
a TV movie on ABC,
Yeah.
will be airing in February.
That's right. I hate to call it a reunion show because it's not a going back. This is a going forward of these two women and the development, the ongoing friendship.
We came on location the one day you were shooting.
That's right.
So it's always good to see you again, Mary.
Well,
Thank
thanks.
you for
Nice
your
to see you,
time.
too.
Thank you. We're going to go see a movie now.
Okay.
Jodie Foster's in another remake of Anna and the King.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Mary.
I've always wanted to do an epic. I've always wanted to do a movie that was in the tradition of Lawrence of Arabia, a film that really captures the tone and the magic with that epic structure.
The makers
creators of Anna and the King learned a thing or two about epic scale. This 7-acre set was built by a crew of 1,300. 5,000 costumes were cut from 10 miles of fabric. Add 19 elephants and their 56 trainers, and you're looking at a big picture.
No matter how many elephants I had, no matter how many extras I had, no matter how big the set was, ultimately, everybody is going to the movie to see Jodie Foster and Chow Yun-fat and to feel the story.
I have not done this in some time, and well, seeing as the evening has gone so well, we wouldn't want to end up in a heap, now would we?
I am king. I shall lead.
Foster, always up for a grand-scale practical joke, welcomed Yun-fat to the set with a Malaysian marching band.
Yeah, it's a tradition that Mel Gibson taught me that I try to carry on to other movies. We were in this sort of marshland, amazing, on this enormous river that, you know, right out of Apocalypse Now, and out comes the marching band, totally playing off key, with a big banner that says, "Welcome, King Fatty." And hopefully he got a kick out. He was kind of looking at me quizzically, like, "What's the matter with you?" And we just died laughing.
I was stunned and overwhelming. Yeah, she's lovely and very, very funny.
The actor has made over 70 films in Asia and is a well-known action hero.
You enjoyed a degree of anonymity.
Yes.
Chow Yun-fat, however,
had no anonymity, poor guy. He couldn't go anywhere without somebody recognizing him. So it was great for me. I went to the parks every day and went to great little restaurants and had a great time.
She brought her baby, Charles Foster, to the Malaysian set.
And you had a cast of
That's right.
many children.
Lots of children.
What was that like for you?
It was fantastic. It was like a great adventure, you know, and the safest way that you could ever do it. I mean, it was just a wonderful experience to be able to spend 4 months someplace and feel like you lived there.
She felt at home on the set, and while shooting close-ups, shed her hoop skirt for shorts.
The more garish the shorts, the better. So you have to be a good actor to work across from me because I'm really distracting with the neon shorts.
What moviegoers will see is an old-style epic. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
The man of the hour, Carl Reiner. I'm a fan of yours for 100 years. And, you know, we were just talking about some of the stuff that people forget a lot about. The Jerk, which you directed.
With Steve Martin,
With Steve Martin, Man with Two Brow, all the movie stuff.
Yes.
But tonight, are they honoring you for everything overall?
Just for getting to be the age I did become, and for not doing anything antisocial. Just being around and having made a few people laugh along the way. Why they chose me, you'll have to ask them. When they asked me, would you like to be on? I said, why? And they said, because, and they gave me a lot of reasons that I know better, but let them think that way.
Well, you should be honored. One of my favorite things from the Sid Caesar show is when you and Sid and Imogene Coco are in the movie theater.
Oh,
And you're Imogene's boyfriend who thinks Sid's cheating on her.
You remember that, isn't that funny? Oh, that was intent from your show of shows. You know, Anne Bancroft always says that's one of the funniest moments, and she said, you had such anger in a finger. She said, you put your finger, I get so angry. I didn't know I was doing it. That was live, and I had never seen it.
Thank you for so much entertainment, huh?
And I love you wearing a tie. Years ago, when television was young, he didn't know you had to wear a tie. Who told you? Who was the guy who said you have to wear a tie to it?
Some tie salesman somewhere. You've got a trade deal with Ted, I guess. I don't know. Carl,
Anyway,
so good to see you. Thanks so much.
I-
Congratulations tonight.
Thank you.
And that's our show for this weekend. Don't forget Showbiz Today, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on CNN.
Now, A is a great organization. They help people, you know, and that's the idea in life, is to help people, the joy of giving. I try to help people. I want to do a show for the homeless. I don't know where to contact them. But in my own way, I help the homeless. I do. I'm always looking for a girl who needs a room. No, a lot of people do.
The epic story of a woman who challenged the heart of a king and inspired a nation.
You have the power to lead your...
Now is not the time to change the way that things are done.
Jodie Foster and Chow Yun-fat star in Anna and the King. Watch CNN Showbiz Today for the answers to the Anna and the King trivia quiz and enter at CNN.com. You could find yourself sailing aboard a majestic ocean schooner. Anna and the King, now showing.
On CNN Travel Now, from preventing air rage to overcoming one's fear of flying, a special on travel challenges. CNN Travel Now, today 11 a.m. Eastern.
Finding that car you've always wanted has never been easier. You can thank AutomallUSA.com for that. AutomallUSA.com.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're gonna love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You gotta eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism.
Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
100 hours of Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
This is Style, and I'm Elsa Clench, reporting on the design worlds of fashion, beauty, and decorating. Today, a collection from a designer who has his own ideas about the shape of fashion for the future. He's Dries Van Noten, and his shapes are as feminine as they're modern. Also, the graphic Spring-Summer 2000 collection from Angela Massoni. Patterns are bolder, colors more brilliant. But right now, outfits from a designer whose career is exploding on the international scene. The informality of jeans and a t-shirt. That's the underlying theme in the Spring-Summer 2000 collection from Marc Jacobs. Jacobs says, forget the millennium and focus on what women want today. So he does jeans, but jeans in luxurious fabrics that only look like denim. His t-shirts are cashmere and the silhouette lean.
I like the sort of nothingness of the jeans and the t-shirt. I feel that's about as close as I can get to the future because it seems like something that's so old that will always be. So I feel it's a safe bet for the future.
Timeless.
Timeless. Yeah, I think timelessness is much more interesting than future.
Jacob says for him the suit is also timeless, but it's more sporty and still in line with his jeans theme.
We reinterpreted this sort of wear-to-work suit as a jeans suit and sort of sporty little suits. In, like I said, fabrics that look like denim, as well as embroidered cotton satins and, God only knows what, wool tonics.
Knits play a growing role in Jacob's collection, as does handcrafted detailing.
Detailing is more important than it has been in the past couple of seasons. I mean, I'm not a decorator. I really think about like the clothes and the cut of the clothes. So we tried to work the decoration into the seams or into what the detailing on a classic piece of clothing would be. And we've added borders and pipings and, again, more top stitching, things that give a dimension to otherwise flat fabrics.
Is there a particular evening group?
There is sort of a little bit of an evening group. It's a casual evening. It's not a big, full-out evening. But there's quite nice pieces that are done in either cotton tulle or cotton sateen, and they're embroidered with these funny little plastic paillettes. And they sort of trace the seams of where the pockets would be and things like that. They're sort of spirited kind of evening sportswear pieces. And then there's some dresses as well. And they're also something, sort of Liberty-type floral that's sort of been re-embroidered with iridescent sequins and things like that. So it's the feeling of a very casual summer evening. And some sundresses and some very bold colored stripes, as well as spots. Those, I think, look very good for evening. But again, it's a casual summer evening. It's not a big gala.
And many accessories?
This season, we've done a few. Actually, we did a hat this season with Patricia Underwood, which was nice. We did a necklace with Roxanne Asselin, which is a beaded lariat sort of thing, kind of a Western lariat. Not really Western, but it gives you the feeling of a lariat with gold beads. And, of course, the shoes, which we always do a big number on the shoes. And this season, we're showing sandals and closed-toe shoes. Most of them are sandals, but there's many variations on the theme.
That's Marc Jacobs with his Spring-Summer 2000 collection. Still to come, moving past minimalism right to the next millennium. How has fine jewelry shaped up to meet the fast-changing pace of fashion? Stay with Style to see what the great names in jewelry design have on their drawing boards. Then, pattern from the Missoni's as bold as it's ever been. Also, the spring collection with its fascinating feminine new shape from Belgian designer Maurice van Noten. It's all coming up after this.
You are a skilled and gifted surgeon.
He left behind the only family he's ever known.
Bye, Homer.
To find his own place
I've never actually seen the ocean.
in a world he's never known.
I know you don't want to be in no kind of business with me.
I can help. That's all I'm saying.
Critics are calling it easily one of the best films of the year. From the best-selling novel,
I love you.
The Cider House Rules, rated PG-13, now in select cities everywhere Christmas Day.
Snow and fog over here, folks. Snow and fog over here. And snow and fog over here. We got a lot of snow and fog. Lots of snow and fog, fog and snow. With Santa's 8 tiny reindeer on strike, the question is, who will guide his sleigh tonight? Now, back to elf cheerleaders in love.
Thank you, shopping.com.
Excuse me, do you have the book?
Well, what is this book about?
Oh, it's about life and hope.
Ah, then it might be in the self-help section.
Well, no, mostly it's about having a content and full life.
Well, then it would be
Of course,
in the...
it's really powerful and tells about the future.
Introducing The Book, the Holy Bible brought to life in easy-to-understand language. The book helps you experience God's life-changing words like never before.
This is a lot for one book to do.
I know. That's why they call it The Book.
The Book, God's life-changing power in plain English. Get the book today.
But critics are spellbound by A Christmas Carol. Patrick Stewart's performance as a triumph, a dazzling Scrooge. Wonderful. A sparkling new version. Don't miss a special encore of A Christmas Carol. Tonight at 9 on TNT.
Sunday on CNN and Time. From politics to business to world affairs, who will be named Time Magazine's 1999 Person of the Year? A CNN and Time special. Sunday, 9 Eastern on CNN.
Flashes of brilliant light, sparkles of vibrant color to ring in the new millennium. No, not fireworks, but diamonds. Dazzling diamonds, sleekly set in platinum and gold. Hear the excitement as the century turns at Manhattan's fine jewelry boutiques. Boutiques clustered in Midtown along Fifth Avenue. Tiffany, Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, Bulgari and H. Stern. At Van Cleef & Arpels, Muffy Potter Aston says the new millennium ushers in versatile jewelry.
Once upon a time, you only went out at night. Now often we find ourselves waking up in the morning and having to go all day and frequently into the evening without so much as a change at home or a very quick change. So the jewelry has to reflect that. Those pieces include everything from floral brooches to clover necklaces that incorporate diamonds, which would work both for day and evening as well. We see more platinum and white gold jewelry shown in the day.
Tiffany's John Loring says the Millennium Atlas collection is specially designed to mark time.
The elegance of numbers, the elegance of mathematics, something that's always impressed me, and I think is so much in everyone's mind, isn't it? The very elegant concepts, time and mathematics. So why not turn them into jewels? Why not turn them into something elegant that people wear? We have it in all gold, all silver, gold with diamonds, gold with rubies, gold with sapphires. Good American colors.
Has Elsa Peretti done something special for the millennium?
She did a series called Round, or Rounds, which have are beautiful gold sculptural round pendants, and some of them studded with little galaxies of diamonds.
A sexy décolleté is the fashion look for any millennium party. Adding a glittery pave diamond necklace is a heavenly way to make a statement. At Bulgari, 4 necklaces stand out. They have luminosity, sensuality, and classic beauty for the new century. Paris, the city of light at the turn of the new century. That's the inspiration for the Millennium Collection at Cartier.
This particular collection focuses on white gold and yellow gold with pave diamonds. Some plain pieces, unadorned and rather simple and flowing. Others with diamonds that sparkle and twinkle and light up the day or the night.
What's the most dramatic piece in the collection?
The most dramatic piece is a piece from the drapery part of the collection, which is draping of materials, and in this case 18-karat gold, and it's 34 rows of very small round beads that drape across the neck. It's an outstanding piece that can be incredible with a t-shirt and equally as incredible with a strapless evening dress.
Andrea Hansen says H. Stern's jewelry moves towards the millennium with a collection called Fireworks. High-style pieces with white, yellow, and cognac diamonds.
The 2000 collection, which is what we call this entire group, is comprised of 15 lines. A lot of golden diamonds, a lot of white golden diamonds, and a couple other pieces in yellow gold, beautiful necklaces and chokers and long earrings, very party, New Year's Eve. And we also did a shirt, a golden diamond shirt. Really, I mean, talk about starting the new millennium in style, beyond white golden diamond shirt.
That's party jewelry for the millennium. And now the show from a young designer who took over her family collection and made it more successful than ever. Angela Missoni gives color a bold, graphic edge in her fresh and feminine Spring-Summer 2000 collection. She bases it on black and white, then uses vivid strokes of yellow, lime green, and purple. Missoni tells me today's woman is beautiful with a healthy body and a new femininity, so my clothes are easy, almost seamless to fit her lifestyle. She blows up traditional Missoni designs and mixes them. She spins circles in vibrant colors, and she plays with those famous Missoni stitches for cool transparency.
It's a very graphic collection, yeah. It's the beginning of the show, which is a more city look. It's really, I think, the essence of Missoni. So there's a graphism that you can easily recognize, but it's all in black and white. And then it goes with black and strong color, then it goes to color, then back again into a more muted fusion of black and white and colors. And then again into strong, very, very strong graphismal stripes, which are kind of draping in those fringes.
The shapes, close to the body, loose, or mixed?
Shapes are kind of loose, but very sexy, very deep neckline, a lot of skin, and lots of open cuts on the sides, and lots of transparent material also, but basically fluid and very light.
Missoni says the resurgence of the dress is an example of the new femininity that's sweeping fashion. It's a femininity that allows a woman to be as strong as she is demure.
I think we're going back to a beautiful woman, really. Not with the glamour of the 80s, it's not that. I think it's more beautiful, healthy girl. It's a new femininity, really.
Do you take a particular theme or get the inspiration from something particular for this sort of graphic look?
No, I wanted this collection to be no reference. No reference with the past, not a reference to the 80s, not a reference to the 70s, not a reference to the 60s, no reference. It has to be something new. It has to go on. It's not only a collection about contrast, I think. So everything, it's a big balance in those contrasts that you have.
That's Angela Missoni with her Spring-Summer 2000 collection. There's more to come, including the neoclassic decor in the apartment of Milan designer Donatella Versace. See how the Versace style dominates each and every room, and how Donatella has filled her home with mementos from her late brother, Gianni. Then stay with style for the Spring-Summer 2000 collection from that innovative Belgian designer, Dries van Noten, when we return.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever...
I have lots of love to give. You want to love me back? I'll be good to you.
I haven't been on a date since I was married, and that was 3 years ago. When's the last time you talked to your son?
I don't know.
I am not going to take care of him. What does he want?
You want to kiss me, Jim?
Yes, I do.
One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number.
Rated R. Now playing in New York and LA. Starts January 7th everywhere.
And here he goes. Look at him line up those tires. The final lap of the run.
100 hours of Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
The heritage of a joyous childhood spent in southern Italy. Donatella Versace tells me that's what surfaces time and time again when she designs. Or the colors in the living room of her neoclassic palazzo that she bought 14 years ago. Versace says her attitude, like life in the South, is all about being both tough and tender at the same time.
I'm a Mediterranean woman, and I want to bring to my house the colors of the south of Italy. This is in my mind always. I remember colors and the breeze of the south of Italy. Milan is not exactly a colorful city, so I like to come back home at night and, you know, have a joyful view.
The entrance is mostly neoclassic. Roman medallions caress the walls. The marble floor is bold and graphic in black, bronze, and gold.
In the entrance, you see those beautiful colors, baby blue, and very quality decoration, handmade painting in the entrance. And that's what I love. And two solid obelisks standing there. So it's a very strong touch.
Versace says she collaborated on the palazzo's design with Italian architect Renzo Mongiardino. But she credits much of the decor to her late brother Gianni's taste. Versace painted the vaulted living room a soft, pale yellow, again to remind her of southern Italy. The fabrics around the room were reprinted from one of Gianni's ready-to-wear collections.
When we did this house, this fabric exists but in different colors. Very bright, darker, very masculine, like black and yellow, like the Baroque collection Gianni did. So we decided to reprint it in lilac and pink for me. So all the pastel color you see, the yellow, the gold, the pink, everything is new. We reprint the color for this house.
Two large Empire-style urns stand on either side of a Giovanni Paolo Panini Roman landscape. It complements the series of neoclassic paintings here.
That gift from Gianni, my favorite one is the Panini paintings, which is really special. And they come from Rome, Naples.
The dining room walls depict more of Versace's Chinese theme. This time, it's porcelains. The ceiling is also quite magnificent. The decoration of the dining room was your idea.
I like the Chinese influence, I like the Chinese culture, and I like the Chinese painting, and I thought it was fun.
Master bedroom is the most romantic and Versace's favorite room. The king-size four-poster bronze bed is Napoleon III. Versace says she feels like a princess here.
The boiserie included the bed, which is called fertility bed. I was a bit afraid of that, I have to say, but I kept it anyway.
And your bathroom is very luxurious.
Yeah, I spend so much time there. I really do.
And where you can escape.
Yeah.
That must be an enormous relief.
It is an enormous relief to come back home and escape from all the craziness of the today life.
That's Donatella Versace at home. Still ahead, the spring-summer collection of designer Dries Van Noten, a designer who lives, thinks, and breathes fashion. Van Noten not only plays with silhouettes and color, but also with different settings for his shows. See how he's changing the shape of things to come when we continue.
It was the first truly modern war. Victory depended on precise timing, knowing when to send the troops rushing into fight and when to pull them back. So it was no surprise during World War II that the U.S. Armed Forces relied on Bulova. Today, Bulova is still helping Americans move their troops into the field on time. And though the battles have changed, America still runs on Bulova time.
Available at Gordon's.
Snow and fog over here, folks. Snow and fog over here. And snow and fog over here. We got a lot of snow and fog. Lots of snow and fog, fog and snow. With Santa's 8 tiny reindeer on strike, the question is, who will guide his sleigh tonight? Now, back to elf cheerleaders in love.
Thank you, shopping.com.
For a buck. When I was a kid, a handful of nickels would keep the jukebox playing all night long.
Yeah, you know, you can't get much for a buck these days.
Yeah, but you can get all your long-distance calls for just 99 cents.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
He's right. Just dial 1010-220 and all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents and just 9 cents a minute after that. No fees, no signing up. Just dial 1010-220.
Get yourself out of here.
How do you like me now?
Christian Dior did it in 1947, brought out a new feminine shape, a new look that altered the face of fashion. Now Dries Van Noten shows an updated new look that could do the same.
Femininity, and yeah, I really like when you go to the south of France, Spain, the Italian islands, and then even further, you have a kind of femininity which is different than normal one. So it's really a lot of passion, a lot of a kind of sensuality, but not being very sexy, but just by the way of moving, volumes, colors, all these things.
Van Noten bases his silhouette on a ballerina-length full skirt that changes the way the models walk. His tops have volume. More often than not, they're blouson sweaters.
It was nice because like that you start with the full skirt and afterwards you put also full tops, because really kind of X-shaped tops, and then you have only the waist which remains very narrow. So which is, for me it's a new silhouette and it's really really fun to make it. It's not a very serious collection, it's more a fun collection also. Lots of colors, lots of embroideries, but not in too very serious way.
You develop the idea of the skirt in many different ways, with ruffles, with tiers, with prints, with horsehair lining.
Yeah, it's once you start with something like that and you start enjoying the new idea, new silhouette, of course the ideas are coming very fast and you can't stop at the end anymore.
What are the prints? Florals?
Polka dots and florals. So we are concentrated on different prints, and again, which is, I think, new again, is printing on linen, which gives a kind of rustic image.
There's a lot of handwork too, with embroideries.
Yeah, it's rough embroideries, but also very sophisticated embroideries, completely gold bead embroidery in flat silver yarn. So really to give all different kinds of impressions.
And on top go blouses, sweaters. What goes on top?
Which is the most typical item is the X shape. So it's really a very full top and only with the drawstring in the waist. And that on top of these skirts give really, especially in profile, a beautiful silhouette.
Are there particular evening skirts or day skirts, or they go both ways?
They go both ways, I think, because it's not because it's beaded for us, it's or embroidered, that's an evening skirt. And no, on the contrary, I think a full black skirt, just like silhouette, is most sometimes more evening than something completely beaded and embroidered.
Is it a look back at the past or a development for the future?
It's a combination of the two. I think it's looking to the future with respect for the past.
That's Dries Van Noten with his Spring-Summer 2000 collection. That's Style for this week. Please stay tuned for all the news as CNN Weekend continues. Next week, I'll be back with a special show for the millennium. You'll see the shape of things to come in swimsuits to evening dresses. It reflects the whole new feminine mood that celebrates women. And it's a joyful way to bring in the new year, new century, and new millennium. Until then, thank you for joining me with Style. I'm Elsa Clench.
Hello, I'm Kira Phillips in Atlanta. Coming up on CNN Travel Now, how to keep looking good while traveling. But first, Orlin Sidney, who's always looking good, has the latest on weather. Orlin?
And sleepy this morning, too. But I got a lot to keep me occupied. That's a lot of rain in the southeast. We have two areas of low pressure, one of them still kind of developing here across the west. It looks like Louisiana on into Mississippi. We'll see some showers today. There's also some rainfall across much of Florida, extending northward to near Cape Hatteras. Probably going to keep the shuttle on the ground today. The rain chances are about 80% today, 80 to 90%. They go down to 40% tonight and 20% tomorrow. So maybe a little bit better day down in Cape Canaveral on Sunday. Up to the north, some of this area is managing to pick up a little mix of rain and snow south of Springfield, Missouri, and continuing on up into Ohio. Other areas of the nation fairly quiet except for the west. That's where we're going to see windy conditions today with wind gusts across Montana and down south into Colorado up to 80 miles an hour in some areas. Some of the snow could get heavy too, especially across the Cascades of Oregon and Washington. Higher elevations, I'll probably see up to 12 inches, and the snow level should be dropping to around 2,500 feet later today. Quiet in the southwest, a little bit of snowfall showing up in the Great Lakes. We'll have more weather a bit later. Travel Now is next.
I'm Carolyn O'Neill. Coming up on CNN, the glamour of travel. Yeah, right. We'll have the latest on dealing with travel challenges. That's next on CNN Travel Now.
It's a moment of anticipation, a moment of vision, a moment of hope. It's the dawn of a new millennium, and CNN will be there, live. 60 correspondents in key locations worldwide, bringing you the global celebrations as we usher in the new year. Plus, breaking news and Y2K coverage you expect from the world's news leader. Millennium 2000, 100 hours of non-stop coverage, beginning New Year's Eve at 5 a.m. Eastern on CNN.
It's a special Millennium Month of guests on Larry King Live. Tonight, an encore presentation of Larry's interview with President Richard Nixon. Tonight, 9 Eastern on CNN.
So many shirts, so little time. That's why LandsEnd.com has its unique Oxford Express, so you can choose just the shirt you want, click by click. LandsEnd.com. It's the website that fits you.
Dad would love this. LandsEnd.com lets you shop with someone 3,000 miles away.
A vest might be cool.
Nice. We call it Shop with a Friend. What about a jacket? Shop together, online.
Yeah.
Only at LandsEnd.com.
If I could fall asleep right now, I could still get 6 good hours.
If you suffer from sleeplessness, even occasionally,
I could still get 4 hours. 4 hours is okay.
there are a few things you should know. Going without sleep isn't okay, and there is something that can help, called Sleep Solutions from Searle. Call this toll-free number now for a free information kit to learn how Sleep Solutions from Searle can help you and your doctor do something about your sleeplessness. Learn about an innovative approach to sleep therapy that's available only at your doctor, and how Sleep Solutions from Searle is actually helping people just like you reestablish good sleep habits. Your kit even includes an easy-to-use sleep diary to help you and your doctor spot patterns in your sleeplessness. So, instead of watching the clock night after night, call today for your free information kit. Then, talk to your doctor about sleep solutions from Searle. And don't let another sleepless night go by.
Men, do you want to see your abs and increase muscle definition? Women, how would you like a toned body with cellulite-free hips and thighs? Turn these visions into reality with the best-selling video, Fitness Made Simple, hosted by fitness celebrity John Bastow.
In 8 weeks, I totally transformed my body from this to this. Fitness Made Simple worked for me, and it can work for you too.
Order Fitness Made Simple by calling toll-free and be on the way to building the body of your dreams.
Early Edition with Carol Lynn and Leon Harris. Weekdays on CNN.
Welcome back. I'm Kira Phillips. Just ahead, CNN Travel Now. A look at coping with air rage. But first, our top stories. Authorities say a man charged with smuggling bomb-making materials into the U.S. may have ties to the terrorist network of Osama bin Laden. In Seattle, federal authorities have charged 32-year-old Ahmed Rassam with transporting nitroglycerin. Officials also found timing devices and a chemical that can make a bomb when they searched his rental car. An Algerian native, Rassam faces an arraignment and detention hearing Wednesday. Will the ninth time be a charm? NASA hopes so, as it tries again to launch Shuttle Discovery on a mission to the Hubble Space Telescope. The same bad weather that canceled yesterday's launch is expected at Cape Canaveral tonight. The Hubble mission has scored 8 delays. Scientists had said tonight would be the last chance until January. The officials are meeting at this hour to evaluate a possible Sunday launch. CNN will bring it to you live, scheduled for 8:21 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the latest news. Here's Travel Now.
Today on CNN Travel Now, we take on the challenge of flying.
I don't think my luggage is here. I think it's probably still in Frankfurt or in Washington.
So what are airports and airlines doing to try to make it easier for travelers?
They want to be able to arrive at curbside and get on their plane with the minimum of hassle.
Plus, strategies for dealing with passengers so mad they're enraged.
Overbooking, getting shoved in like a sardine into small little seating areas.
New ways to deal with fear of flying.
And I miss a lot of really great family trips because I don't fly.
Also, what to pack to make it easier to travel and how to get there and back looking good. Hello, I'm Carolyn O'Neill. Welcome to CNN Travel Now in New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. Passengers are arriving right now from Korea, and very soon there will be a flight from France. This is truly an international gateway welcoming people from all over the world to the USA. Since it originally opened in the 1940s, more than 980 million passengers have made their way through JFK. Chances are you're one of them. Sometime in the year 2000, JFK Airport expects to welcome its 1 billionth passenger to New York. And one of the first things they may see is construction. A $9.3 billion renovation is underway and won't be finished until 2006.
Basically building a complete new airport.
Originally opened as the New York International Airport in 1948, it was rededicated to honor President John F. Kennedy in 1963. One of the biggest changes since then, a dramatic increase in security. So passengers have to arrive earlier and wait longer.
People do spend a lot of time at the airport, so we have to provide for them customer amenities such as food primarily, and as well as the retail shops and other amenities that people have come to know, which is business centers where they can hook up their laptops and someplace to relax in a comfortable manner.
Already ready, Terminal 1, designed with wide open spaces to accommodate crowds and equipped to handle large international flights, many with up to 500 passengers and all that luggage.
So it's a rebirth, a regeneration of those kinds of facilities, replacing the old.
American Airlines is spending $1.3 billion on its new improved terminal.
What they want to do is they want to be able to arrive at curbside and get on their plane with the minimum of hassle and have a pleasant experience.
Most travelers agree.
Fast, clear, and
Well, fast.
But what's important to you with how an airport works?
Get to the gates easily and through security, that they have plenty of gates to get you through security. Because, I mean, the only thing I really want to do in an airport is to get to the gate. I'm not so much into the shopping and all that, so that's somewhat frustrating at times if it extends the length of the actual gate.
While high-tech improvements in baggage and security are key, the human touch is a priority too.
What do you think a taxi will cost from here, from JFK to the Manhattan?
$30 plus toll, $3.
Okay, okay.
Customer service representatives at JFK, many of them multilingual, welcome passengers and their questions as this world-class airport changes to stretch its wings into the 21st century. One of the challenges facing airports and airlines today is how to deal with passengers who are so upset and dissatisfied with a flight experience that they become enraged and even violent. Here's Stephanie Oswald to explain what's being done to diffuse these situations.
Long lines at the airport, full flights, less legroom. Just a few factors that may lead to incidents of air rage.
The gambit of this runs from people just being obnoxious and having obnoxious behavior to people actually taking part in dangerous activities.
Dangerous and illegal. Air rage is a federal offense.
It really is defined as interference, threats, assault, and interference with flight crews in the performance of their duties while on the airplane.
Flight attendant Renee Sheffer was attacked by a passenger on a U.S. Airways flight on December 16, 1997.
I was beaten, punched, and kicked. I had bruises in my stomach and my face and my back, bladder and kidney trauma, torn ligaments in my knee, separated shoulder. Upon landing, he was detained, he was arrested, and then he was released to custody of his parents. And then the next day, the FBI investigated it and went ahead and arrested him for interference with the flight crew and assault on a crew member.
Air rage appears to be on the rise. A survey conducted by Condé Nast Traveler magazine finds readers feel fellow passengers are less polite. 48% say other flyers behave worse than they did 3 years ago. 89% say planes are more crowded now, and 75% believe check-in lines are longer.
You've got so many people fighting for this sort of, as much space as they can get in this confined area. Of course, people are going to get, they're going to get tense, and maybe they're going to get a little bit nasty.
And there are some people that just take it for granted that you're in this aluminum tube flying at 30,000 feet and there's nobody there to stop them.
But the airline industry says the number of incidents should be put into perspective.
Maybe there's 4,000 or 5,000 instances of disruptive passengers a year, and that's out of over 600 million passengers. So it's on the rise, but it's still very rare.
With her husband's help, Sheffer decided to fight back by creating Sky Rage, a foundation dedicated to making the skies safe for flight crews.
There needs to be stiffer penalties. There needs to be divert airports where if there is an instance of sky rage, the plane can divert to this facility. The FBI agents can go ahead and question the person, arrest the person.
At 8 airports, the FAA has a special program for reporting and dealing with incidents of air rage.
Make sure that the incident is followed up on properly, that the evidence needed to prosecute the person, if it's a serious enough case, is there and collected, and that the prosecution takes place, and that we actually also add in civil penalties as well.
Congress is considering a bill increasing the fine for interfering with flight crews from a little more than $1,000 to $25,000 and banning offenders from flying for 1 year. How can you minimize your chances of meeting anger in the air? If you encounter a problem passenger, try to move to an empty seat and notify a flight attendant. If you find yourself close to the boiling point,
ask to speak to the head flight attendant, file a complaint, perhaps make a note in writing and ask that it be handed over to the captain, rather than standing up screaming or doing something uncivilized in the middle of the plane and disturbing everybody.
Finally, try to relax and focus on your destination. Stephanie Oswald, CNN.
There's no doubt that air travel can be stressful for even the best prepared passengers. So you can imagine how tough it is for those afraid to fly. Coming up next, taming the fear of flying. And later, a look at high-tech travel gear designed to put the joy back into the excursion.
This little Quictionary from Seiko
you can use to roll over menus or in books, and it will actually translate into English.
I may look young, but I still suffer from hot flashes. I wanted a natural way to deal with it. So I discovered a new soy menopause supplement for hot flashes. It's called Healthy Woman, from the makers of Monistat. That's right, Healthy Woman's from the makers of Monistat, a name I know and my doctor trusts. Healthy Woman's designed to help relieve hot flashes in a natural way. Now I can make an informed choice with new Healthy Woman from the makers of Monistat.
I just don't understand any of this.
Look, they turned us down. It was our credit. I mean, what's there to understand?
What do we tell Maria? She was so excited about the house. We shouldn't have promised her until we knew for sure.
She's a smart girl. She'll understand.
Nobody ever told us our credit meant so much.
Understanding your credit is the first step to owning a home. It's never too late to get it right. Call for the new free guide on credit from the Fannie Mae Foundation and for a list of lenders and credit counselors.
My father started the Mettmann Manufacturing Company in 1942. Since then, the Mettmann name has become synonymous with ill-conceived products that carry the risk of serious physical injury. But we have made a little progress. We just signed up for this great service called Stamps.com. It lets you print your postage straight from your printer, and it's actually legal. It really comes in handy for all our recall notices. Get well cards and flowers for the families.
Anticipation of a trip, especially if you're going on vacation to some exciting and beautiful place, is one of the joys of traveling. But for some people, the very thought of getting on a plane is frightening. Kaylin Thomas Samuel finds out what can be done today to conquer fear of flying.
What do singer Aretha Franklin and sportscaster John Madden have in common with 25 million Americans? They're afraid to fly. Christy Clark of San Francisco lives a happy life with her husband Wayne and her dog Buzzy. But that happiness turns to fear when it comes to flying.
Intellectually, I know that flying is very safe, but I still have feelings of fear related to flying.
So Wayne signed Christy up for the Fear of Flying Clinic.
We feel strongly that the fear of the unknown is a great part of it, and people have misconceptions about airplanes and flying and so forth, and so we educate them.
There's a weekend clinic or an 8-week session of classes. Both cost $545. They include classroom discussions led by professional flyers like flight attendants.
That's why we ask you, please, please, please keep your seatbelt fastened at all times.
A tour of San Francisco Airport's maintenance facilities.
What is moving now is the elevator.
And a stop at the control tower.
At a 1697 San Francisco ground pushback.
Students then get on board a sitting plane to practice.
What I'd like you to do is practice now, making yourself comfortable by doing the deep breathing we talked about.
They even get to sit in the cockpit.
Okay, so you picture yourself flying the plane.
Finally, the big day arrives for Christy's class to take the graduation flight from San Francisco to Portland.
I'm feeling a little shaky, but I'm going to get on that plane.
The last time I flew was, well, my son, who is 38, was a preschooler.
I don't think I could actually fly without this huge support group the first time.
The flight to Portland is 1 hour and 35 minutes, just enough time to give students a chance to practice what they learned in class and to give them their first big step toward flying without fear.
We did great.
we did. My husband's not on the plane. I can't believe it. I usually hold his hand. No, it's great.
People who are uncomfortable with flying, there are certainly high degrees of stress related to traveling. And often, for some people, it's really a fear of also being away from home, of being in unfamiliar surroundings.
If you're a fearful flyer, here are some tips. Get to the airport early to give yourself time to relax. Practice deep breathing to help prevent panic attacks. When permitted, get up and move around on the plane. And if there's turbulence, close your eyes and imagine you're on a bumpy road or a choppy sea. We did it! Christy's class used those techniques for a successful graduation flight.
We've had over 1,400 graduates of the clinic, and we have about a 95% success rate, which we're very proud of.
I loved the camaraderie in the class. It was very heartening to be with other frightened people and to come along slowly but surely.
And I can honestly say I am looking forward to the flight back. And bravo. Without pills, alcohol, anything, it's going to be great.
All I really have to say is just it opens up a whole new world of opportunity and travel for me, and being able to see my family and just experience life more, so I'm very thankful for that.
And the certificates graduates receive are their passports to the world.
Your accomplishment was marvelous.
Caitlin Thomas Samuel, CNN, Portland, Oregon.
Even if you're not afraid to fly, chances are you don't exactly look forward to the discomforts and inconveniences that often accompany any kind of travel. Coming up next, we'll show you some products, gadgets, and gear that you can pack to help you cope.
Traveling is very stressful because you have to put everything for a long trip in a bag and have it all with you and be ready to go.
GeoQuiz is brought to you by AAA and their travel partner, Holland America Line.
When planning your next vacation, call the expert, your AAA travel agent, for an uncompromising escape with Holland America West Tours, AAA's choice for Alaska cruise and tour packages, where right now Alaska vacations start at this great low price. AAA also offers members exclusive extras on Holland America West Tours cruises and tours. For details, call 1-800-374-1106.
Travel with someone you trust.
AAA Travel Services.
The information revolution has changed our lives forever. How you manage that change is up to you. CNN.com, the television show about new technology and how it affects you. CNN.com, knowledge for the information age. Today at 12:30 Eastern.
When it comes to your health, CNN provides the breaking news and information you need. CNN's medical experts report on cutting-edge advances in treatment and prevention from around the world. On weekends, Dr. Steve Salvatore looks at global health issues from nutrition and exercise to parenting and adding years to your life. Plus, log on to the most complete medical site on the web, CNN.com and WebMD. Make your health a priority 7 days a week, only on CNN.
Sunday on CNN Perspectives. They're known around the world as predators and carnivores, but as their population increases, so do concerns over their survival. But the fight to protect wolves is creating a crisis in areas where humans live and farm. Join CNN's Gary Stryker as he travels the globe to report on this worldwide conflict between man and animal. Planet Wolf, a documentary from CNN Perspectives. Sunday on CNN.
100 hours of Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
Anyone who travels a lot and lugs a lot of luggage has to agree that one of the greatest advances in world travel in recent times is the easy-to-pull suitcase on wheels. Oh, the lugging and the lifting and the risking your bag may not survive the trip.
I have a suitcase, I won't mention the brand, but I've bought the same suitcase 3 times now and it keeps falling apart, and I'm really looking to find the ultimate suitcase.
And it's a mission shared by a growing number of travelers looking for easy-to-move luggage that lasts, with multiple storage compartments to stay organized.
They want the pockets, they want things that fold out. And bags are coming out now that are puncture-proof, that have steel edges, that can really withstand a lot.
At Flight One in New York, owners Brad John and John Sencione offer world travelers the latest in great gear.
And my favorite item in the store right now is the new backpack that we have from Sweden called Bubbly. It's a hard-sided backpack that you can carry your computer in.
Computers. They've launched a whole new wave of travel gadgets, including a 5-language translator which converts both conversation and currency. Want to lighten your load? Qualcomm combines a cell phone with a Palm Pilot digital organizer. Need to check email and no place to plug in? The Cassiopeia, a tiny portable PC, has a wireless modem. And the Rocket eBook, the size of 1 paperback book, lets you download the equivalent of 10 books.
I mean, I'm the queen of traveling with 1,000 magazines and 1,000 CDs and 1,000 books, and it's all so heavy. And I'm really excited about these new products that will help me lighten my carry-on load.
And to lessen the burden of travel, music for your trip in a slim CD player that doubles as a digital clock radio that keeps up as you cross time zones. A popular feature for wristwatches, too.
Watches, because nowadays you don't want to have to hassle with changing the time zones and all that, and we have a lot of world time watches.
It's all about ease of travel.
So from scented candles to add a homey glow to faraway hotel rooms, or compact shavers designed to fit in a pocket, a world of products today are made for people on the move. Now that you're packed and ready to go, just ahead, road warrior tips on how to land there looking good. Even actress Isabella Rossellini needs makeup that travels better.
It was so heavy that you have to bring so many things with you just to even do a simple makeup.
I feel like I'd be a fool if I didn't do something I really want to do, which is to ask you for a date.
You want to go on a date with me?
Yeah, that is what I wait for. I wait and I pray.
When's the last time you talked to your son?
I don't know. I am not going to take care of him. What does he want?
I don't want him to die. Save me. Come on and save.
Rated R. Now playing in New York and LA. Starts January 7th every week.
Come on! Gotta do it. Go back to the island, boy. Let's go.
The islands of the Bahamas. Which one will ignite your soul?
Call American Express Travel at 1-888-AXP-0082.
There's nothing like the way I feel after a good night's sleep. That's why I love my Tylenol PM. For me, there's just no reason to have trouble sleeping. I take Tylenol PM before bed. It stops my pain and helps me sleep. So I'm ready for another great day.
When planning your next vacation, call the expert, your AAA travel agent, for an uncompromising escape with Holland America West Tours, AAA's choice for Alaska cruise and tour packages, where right now Alaska vacations start at this great low price. AAA also offers members exclusive extras on Holland America West Tours cruises and tours. For details, call 1-800-374-1106.
Travel with someone you trust.
AAA Travel Services.
Bob Marley sang about love, and the world listened. Now see music's biggest stars in the biggest Marley tribute ever. TNT presents One Love, the Bob Marley All-Star Tribute, tomorrow at 8 on TNT.
For more information about overcoming your fear of flying, you may want to start with the Fear of Flying Clinic. If travel anxiety leads you or others to the point of frustration, learn more about coping by contacting the Sky Rage Foundation. Now, if your travel stress begins with packing for your trip, perhaps the innovative products at Flight One can provide some solutions. And as you'll learn in our next segment, looking good while traveling can be a challenge too. Frederick Fekai's salons, Isabella Rossellini's Manifesto line, and Guerlain Blue Voyage products can soothe any traveler's needs. Check our website for more details about them and all the things you've seen in our show at cnn.com/travelnow.
Traveling not only causes wear and tear on your suitcases, it can create a few new bags under your eyes, too. So let's check in with a few globe-trotting beauty experts to see how cosmetic companies are tailoring their products to travelers. Evidence of world travel may look good on a suitcase, but you don't want to show the mileage.
Not only is it stressful on the body and on your time schedule, but your skin reacts to it.
World traveling is, of course, a thrill, but zigzagging time zones can certainly take its toll. Let's say that one day you're in Sydney, and then the next day you're in New York. Your watch tells you what time it is, but your body may not know if it's day or night. Air travel is especially damaging to the skin because the humidity is so low.
So as a result of that, your skin becomes very dried out, and you look fatigued.
That's why Guerlain created Blue Voyage, a skincare line for travelers.
And you use this while you're on the flight.
For men or women, there's an in-flight serum to moisturize skin while you're flying. Need more help on arrival? Recovery cream in weekly doses. Fits together for 2 or 3 week trips, for example. And important to those surveyed by Guerlain, packages that will not break in transit.
So they're all really answering the needs of women who travel today.
Other cosmetic companies have caught the travel bug, too. Estee Lauder sells stress relief eye masks in travel packs. And anyone who's ever found fragrance spilled all over their suitcase will love this. Dazzling perfume in a stick. Time is also of the essence on the road, so actress Isabella Rossellini's Manifesto makeup includes colors that can be used on the lips, cheeks, and eyes.
So I think that Manifesto corresponds a lot to my life, which includes a lot of traveling, a lot of looking good fast.
Each piece has a tiny mirror on the back and colors stacked together. Another innovation, daily doses of foundation in capsules. So you take as much as you need for a trip.
I think my mother influenced me. My mother is Ingrid Bergman. All these little ideas that were very practical and down to earth, I think they come from my mother.
The practicality of a great haircut is what Frederick Fekai encourages travelers to value when they visit his New York salon.
A haircut should be weatherproof, stormproof, anything. I mean, a haircut has to be adaptable on every climate and also every situation.
So customers on the move are being catered to today as traveling becomes a lifestyle with its own special needs. And as JFK Airport continues to undergo its beauty treatment and a makeover for the new millennium, that's CNN Travel Now. I'm Carolyn O'Neill. Thanks for joining us. Join us next week as we look at some of our favorite destinations, from the timeless beauty of the Italian countryside to the exotic jungles of Costa Rica and the tropical allure of Bahamian culture. There's a special place for everyone next week on CNN Travel Now.
We're at the brink of a new millennium. CNN, in a landmark television event, presents 100 hours on 100 issues. Issues that affect our environment, our health, our lives. CNN's top journalists, world leaders, and distinguished guests interact live from across the planet to explore the challenges that will shape our world for generations to come. Millennium 2000, beginning New Year's Eve at 5 a.m. Eastern on CNN.
Log on to CNN.com.
It's the world at your fingertips.
Everything you need to know whenever you want it.
It's easy.
Indulge in fine fashion.
Or maybe pinstripes and stock quotes are more your style.
CNN.com.
Get cooking with gourmet food tips.
Now, get breaking news. No matter where it happens, see the interviews that'll make today's headlines, preview the markets, and get a jump on the business day. Catch the scores and the must-see highlights. Check the forecast. Weather clear across America. Early edition. First with the news you've been looking for. Weekdays, 7 Eastern on CNN.
Sponsored by Standard TV and Appliance.
100 hours of Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
I'm Gene Randall in Washington. CNN.com is next, but first a look at some of the stories making news at this hour. The FBI, CIA, and other U.S. agencies are investigating the background of an Algerian charged with carrying bomb-making materials into this country from Canada. Of special interest, possible links with alleged embassy bombing mastermind Osama bin Laden. 32-year-old Ahmad Rassam is being held without bond in Seattle. He was arrested in Port Angeles, Washington on Tuesday as he fled customs agents who tried to question him on his arrival from British Columbia. Secret negotiations continue in St. Martinville, Louisiana, where 6 inmates are still holding 7 hostages, including the warden. But authorities have regained control of the prison and have isolated hostages and the rebellious inmates in the warden's office. 2 Cuban hostage takers surrendered late Thursday, freeing a deputy and 3 female inmates. More bad weather over Florida has NASA mulling yet another delay in the shuttle Discovery's mission to repair the orbiting Hubble Space Telescope. Rain and thick low clouds are forecast for tonight's scheduled liftoff. NASA officials are meeting in about 2.5 hours to decide if they'll attempt a launch tomorrow, should today's liftoff be scrubbed. More news at the top of the hour. CNN.com is next.
Today on CNN.com.
Silicon Valley, where everybody's looking for gold and green. But are they missing what's in black and white? Racial discrimination. Just ask this internet executive if his career would be different if he were white.
The answer is absolutely yes. I'd be a CEO.
Controversy comes to the Valley. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and boy, could you use some help. Guess what? Help is just a click away. Order last-minute gifts, track incoming relatives, even figure out what to feed them.
Meatloaves in puff pastry, mashed potatoes and brown gravy.
We'll show you how the web can cure the Christmas crazies. And if the perfect present's still playing hard to get, why not go techno?
You might feel like buying a microsphere for yourself after trudging through enough store aisles.
Just what you need, some high-tech holiday suggestions. All that and more on CNN.com.
This is CNN.com with Perry Peltz and James Hattori.
I'm Perry Peltz. Welcome to CNN.com. On the web, you don't see faces or hear voices or take note of how someone looks. This gender, race, class neutral approach to life and business fits right in with the way Silicon Valley likes to see itself as a model for 21st century society, a place where prejudice isn't in the picture and a person's future comes down to ability. But some people disagree, and the divide they see between the Valley's haves and have-nots is along racial lines. Stephen Frazier has that story, so let's go to Northern California.
Follow Highway 101 past the corporate campuses here, and it certainly looks like the future. New kinds of workspaces, new ways of working in them. New things accomplished that could only be imagined just a few years ago. Such as animated dinosaurs that looked absolutely real in the movie Jurassic Park. They were computer-generated, of course, on machines made by a company called Silicon Graphics.
So I'm not disagreeing with your objective.
Kenneth Coleman, on the right, is Senior Vice President at Silicon Graphics. Coleman's undergraduate degree in engineering and his master's degree in business administration provide an educational pedigree that is prized in Silicon Valley. His 12 years here and 10 earlier years at Hewlett-Packard, with time in between at a startup, are the perfect Valley resume.
I think there are 3 issues that we have, and they're not about strategy.
All that has propelled him into senior management, in charge of global sales and marketing, in charge of 4,000 people, $2.7 billion in annual revenue, and all the relationships Silicon Graphics has with customers.
I know I can recreate growth for this company. I've been very successful by all measures. And I'm not complaining, I'm quite happy. On the other hand, you asked me the question, Ken, do you believe if you were a white American, given your abilities, your experience, your education, your talents, would you be a CEO today? The answer is absolutely yes. I'd be a CEO.
A chief executive officer, the boss. Could it be Silicon Valley overlooked him because of his race? Would you say that there's any kind of overt discrimination here?
Oh, I think there is little to no overt discrimination here. That would be highly unusual in the Valley here.
What happens then?
Well, it's subtle, you know. It's subtle. The way things work is networking, you know. Most key jobs are filled by networking, people you know. Most startups are funded through networks. And therefore, unless you take overt actions to ensure that, in fact, you have an integrated workplace, it tends not to happen.
Kenneth Coleman began this day with exactly the kind of networking experience he means.
You gotta kiss a lot of frogs.
Having breakfast with an executive who wanted Coleman's advice as he left Silicon Graphics to start his own company.
He called me and says, hey, I'd like to talk to you and get your advice, pick your brains, ask you have any recommendations. That's a very typical thing to happen. In fact, in this restaurant, there are probably 12 other conversations very similar to this. And if you go all over Silicon Valley, there are probably hundreds of conversations like this, because that's the way it works.
Coleman calls this help affirmative action, looking out for someone. It's the affirmative action he would like Silicon Valley companies to take for young African Americans. But he thinks that will require the success of more African American executives.
In terms of the revenue and versus the bookings?
When I exist, sensitivities change. You know?
How do you mean?
That is, the organization just becomes more sensitive to people who are different. Okay? And that minorities are more open to coming and interviewing here.
I'm not going to do diversity for diversity's sake where I can't get someone who's qualified for a given job. Showtime.
T.J. Rogers, president and CEO of Cypress Semiconductor, says racism does not exist in the Valley. And if African Americans are underrepresented here, it's not because they are shut out.
If you've got the right stuff, you can play. And if you can play well, you can join the Millionaires Club. That's exactly what Silicon Valley's about. There are 1.7 million people online, going to 13.7 on investing. I make integrated circuits. And electrons obey the laws of nature, and they don't care if the engineer pushing them is male or female, black or white or brown.
True, says Kenneth Coleman, but short-sighted.
And I believe it's to the company's best interest to have a diverse workforce. I think you create a better company and you produce better products and therefore better profits.
Atlanta for years called itself the city that was too busy to hate. This place seems to be rushing forward so fast you could say this is a community too busy to worry about diversity.
In fact, that's a great way to put it. I think the big issue on diversity in our valley here is not on the agenda. People are so busy. People are doing so much, creating companies, building companies, hiring people, changing jobs, that they aren't stopping to think about some of the issues.
Sometimes it seems that the Valley's relaxed working style, volleyball at noon, gets more attention. But the San Francisco Chronicle examined diversity there, reviewing employment records for 33 of Silicon Valley's leading companies. On average, the Chronicle reported, they are about 4% African American and 7% Hispanic American. African Americans make up 8% of the Valley's population, Hispanic Americans 14%. But must company payrolls match their community demographics to the percentage point?
It should be a goal or quota to have a certain racial diversity in your board. Wrong. Immoral. Bad.
There's something bigger at issue here than today's hiring practices, though, and that's tomorrow's society, says Manuel Pastor, professor of Latin American and Latino studies at the University of California, Santa Cruz.
What we're seeing in the Silicon Valley is essentially, in my view, the future of the rest of the United States economy. This new economy could be one of rapid growth, rapid opportunity, a tremendous amount of flexibility, and a lot of creativity. Or this new economy could be one of widening inequalities by income, increasing geographic and occupational division by race, and an economy which has hope for some and hopelessness for many.
When Kenneth Coleman moved to this valley in 1969, it was covered with plum orchards. Now, its signature crop is millionaires, and few people are more aware of the change than the Colemans, who've been there to witness it all.
This is our celebrity row.
This is our celebrity row here, yeah.
By one count, there are now 250,000 millionaires here, more than the entire population of Rochester, New York, or Salt Lake City, Utah. All millionaires. And more than 60 new Silicon Valley millionaires are minted every day.
The question is how many are going to win, how many are going to lose, who's going to win, who's going to lose. But I think
Kenneth Coleman is working to make a share of that available to any young talent who wants it.
On December 9th, the Department of Commerce held a Digital Divide Summit. Technology executives and public policymakers gathered to address, among other things, a recent report called Falling Through the Net as an Internet. The report finds that when it comes to computer and Internet access, there is a widening gap among the races, and this despite the decline in computer prices. About 47% of whites own computers. It's half that for Hispanics and only 19% for African Americans. We'll be right back.
Still ahead on Gadget, on Gizmo, on Gimmick and Doodad. What to give for the very latest in futuristic fun. Coming up on CNN.com. CNN.com is brought to you by Sun Microsystems. We're the dot in .com.
From processing stock trades in the financial world to selling hits in the music world. From sharing information in government operations to medical operations. From the manufacturing of products to the interaction of products. From tracking packages to tracking spending. At Sun, our technologies power the net for business. We're the dot in .com. What can we .com for you?
And now, a simple question for everyone who isn't a millionaire quite yet.
Okay.
Where should you look on the web to get total internet service absolutely free?
Oh, I know this one. It's freei.net.
Total internet service?
Yeah.
Absolutely free?
Yeah, it's freei.net.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Freei.net.
Definitely, freei.net.
Want to phone a friend?
We've had a few quality control issues with our products here at Metman Manufacturing. It's burnt. Well, thank goodness we have Stamps.com for all the recalls. It lets you print your postage straight from the printer, and the post office doesn't seem to mind. Bottom line is, we'll run out of defective products before we ever run out of stamps. And that is a comforting thought. Sort of. Guys?
Now we return to CNN.com with James Hattori.
Attention Kmart shoppers. I always wanted to say that. Actually, attention shoppers of any sort. One of the biggest retailers in the U.S. has announced a deal to team up with one of the biggest names in cyberspace. That story tops this week's News Files. Discounters go digital. Kmart joins forces with Yahoo this week as it announces a new online subsidiary called Bluelight.com, which will offer free internet access while promoting retail sales. Surprise, the very next day, a similar partnership is unveiled between Walmart and America Online. What's behind the two deals? A recent report says about 96 million Americans with annual incomes below $50,000 are still not wired to the web. That's an awful lot of discount shoppers up for grabs. Downloading history. The Smithsonian Institution is going online. By the year 2002, all of its holdings will be available for surfing. This February, the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History will start displaying some 100,000 images, like a shoe shine kit from the 1950s, a urologist's surgical case from the 1830s, ouch, a tattered Old Glory, a pensive President Nixon, a busload of, well, not Nixon supporters, more likely Janis Joplin fans. What a country. Worried about Y2K? Why not greet the millennium in Japan? The village of Ikaho, just 2 hours from Tokyo, is promoting itself as the safe and sound alternative to chaos in the cities. Ikaho's hotels all have generators, extra gas, emergency water filters, and plenty of rice. And what millennium bug can get you while you relax in one of the many hot springs? No reply, or to be exact, server busy. That's what lots of disappointed Beatles fans saw when they tried to watch Paul McCartney's webcast concert from Liverpool on Tuesday. A McCartney spokesperson claims the site, mcy.com, recorded some 15 million hits, the biggest transmission ever for an online concert. But reports are that far fewer were actually able to log on.
Welcome to this house. Stop all that yakety yak.
Only 300 people saw Sir Paul in person as he returned to The Cavern, the club he and his Fab Four friends made famous in the early 60s. And that's this week's News Files. This week, as Christmas shopping reaches a fever pitch, if Santa's elves haven't quite finished off your list, and on the internet you just can't find what you're looking for at pleasebuyhere.com, well, Rick Lockridge may have just what you're looking for in this week's Technofile.
What's the worst thing about holiday shopping? Is it the crowds, the mall traffic? Is it the incessant commercialism? Or is it just trying to come up with the right gift ideas?
For the child who's got more toys than FAO Schwartz, how about one with some educational value? The QX3 computer microscope by Intel and Mattel houses a powerful digital camera that'll introduce your kids to science. Okay, so they'll use it to look at bugs and mold and anything else that'll be sure to gross out their parents. That's almost science. You'll need a USB-enabled PC running Windows 98, but when you consider all you get with the QX3, its $99 price tag seems positively microscopic. If your teenager isn't clamoring for a Sega Dreamcast console, he must already have one. Graphics are golden to a home gamer, and the $199 Dreamcast is graphically better than anything else out there. Plus, it has a built-in modem for online battles, and in the ultra-realistic football game NFL 2K, you can sack Brett Favre and actually hear his clavicle hit the turf. Everyone's got a Palm Pilot fanatic in their family somewhere, and that person is, at this very moment, hoping you'll leave them a Palm 7 under the tree. For $499 plus a monthly service charge, you get the first Palm with wireless internet and email access. And while critics say the service is spotty and overpriced, your gift will be close to a Palm lover's heart, because that's where their shirt pocket is. For the high-powered executive in your life, the Microsphere. Hey, don't call it a chair. It's an $1,800 system.
What we wanted to do was set it up so that you were able to sit back, get comfortable, be supported from head to toe, and then you would be able to bring your computer peripherals into you in the most comfortable position possible.
The see-through mesh conforms to your body, and the footrest assures the right posture. Optional speakers go right behind your head, while all your stuff moves within easy reach.
You might feel like buying a Microsphere for yourself after trudging through enough store aisles. Or you could join the 20% of Americans who say they will buy at least one holiday gift over the internet this year. They'll be the ones online instead of in one. That's Technophile.
Up next on the dot, it's IDG's Nerd Word. This week, drag coefficient. Not sure what it means? We'll bring you up to speed when CNN.com returns.
Unleash power, sell more per hour, get business going, keep it growing, change ammunition, kill competition, unlock data, make profits fatter, take sharper aim, boost market gain, save more time, more peace of mind, forge better ties, economize, link devices without a crisis. Our technology is hot, we are the dot.
And now, a simple question for everyone who isn't a millionaire quite yet.
Okay.
Where should you look on the web to get total internet service absolutely free?
Oh, I know this one. It's freei.net.
Total internet service?
Yeah.
Absolutely free?
Yeah, it's freei.net.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Freei.net.
Definitely. Freei.net.
Want to phone a friend?
I can never count on you. Never. Never. Never.
I don't understand you.
You're so difficult.
So
complicated.
It's got to be something more than this.
UB.com. The internet made easy.
Now Now back to CNN.com.
And now, Nerd Word. This week's digital definition, drag coefficient. No, it's not a highfalutin way of saying air resistance. And no, it's not a female impersonator's significant other. Drag coefficient, a formula used by internet startup companies to measure how much time and loyalty an employee will have for the job. If he has a wife, for example, that's a drag coefficient of 1. A dog at another point, kids 2 more, raising this guy's drag coefficient to 4, which means he will not be spending a lot of weekends at the office. We'll be right back.
From the way companies process information to the way they share information. From the way they create ideas to the way they sell ideas. Secure old customers. Attract new customers. Use devices to extend their business. Leap ahead of someone else's business. At Sun, our technologies power the net for business. We're the dot in .com. What can we .com for you?
And now, a simple question for everyone who isn't a millionaire quite yet.
Okay.
Where should you look on the web to get total internet service absolutely free?
Oh, I know this one. It's freei.net.
Total internet service?
Yeah.
Absolutely free?
Yeah, it's freei.net.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Freei.net.
Definitely. Freei.net.
Want to phone a friend?
Now we return to CNN.com with Perry Peltz.
The holidays, parties, presents, and pressure. It's easy to start feeling stressed out by the demands of buying gifts, entertaining friends and family, simply trying to cope with a hectic schedule. For many of us, the real test comes between now and next Saturday. Mary Kathleen Flynn has searched the web and found some tools to fill this coming week with Christmas cheer, not Christmas chores.
With Christmas fast approaching, the internet can be a great help. But time is running out on how much longer you can actually go and shop online. For example, Amazon.com prints a whole chart about their delivery deadlines, telling you when you need to place your order for gifts to be there by Christmas Eve, December 24th. And it looks like December 22nd really is your last chance to order a book online. At that, you've got to make sure that the book that you're interested in is available within 24 hours, and you'll have to pay for the shipping charges. They start at about $5. You may be getting a little bit antsy about where some of those packages and gifts that you've already sent are. Well, you can use the websites of places like Federal Express and UPS to track them. Just go, for example, to the FedEx website and type in the old number of your air bill. You request the tracking information, and within moments, they found the air bill. Hey, it arrived. Not only can you track packages, but you can track your relatives, too. If you're getting nervous about where they are as the holidays approach, you can go onto the various transportation websites like Amtrak or the various airline websites to keep track of their flight, see if there's a delay. That way you don't have to be on the phone forever. So, for example, here I'm on Delta. All you do is type in their flight number. This is 119, which is from Paris to JFK, and you get a chart that shows you whether or not the flight is running behind or on time. Another way the internet can help out at the last minute is to give you a whole library of cookbooks. Big help in the kitchen. If you're like me and you like to cook, you want to see a lot of different ways of making things, like, for example, holiday cookies. Well, one website to go to, sort of the traditional approach, is the Betty Crocker website. They've got a lot of different recipes on there. Now, for something a little bit different, a little off the beaten track, you can go to the Good Karma Cafe's vegetarian holiday recipes. They've got a whole vegetarian holiday menu, all about a holiday dinner that does not include meat. For the entree, they've got meatloaves in puff pastry, but of course it's these Green Giant patties that you can buy in the grocery store now. A real alternative to your traditional Christmas dinner. If you really get down to the wire and it's midnight on Christmas Eve and you still haven't found something, or God forbid you remembered somebody that you'd forgotten before, the internet can help in one crucial way: gift certificates. Many websites now offer gift certificates, and what they usually do is either you can have a message sent by mail or by email to the person that you're buying the gift for, so that at least, even if your gift won't arrive on time, at least a little email that looks like this, with a Christmas tree perhaps from CD Now, telling your friend or family member Merry Christmas.
For more high-tech how-to help, dig into the Dummies series, published by IDG Books, or check out the website at www.dummies.com. CNN.com's Tools is brought to you by Computer Associates, software that can think.
Can a computer think? Can it learn? Can software be developed that acts exactly like the human brain? For 50 years, that's been the question. Today, Nugents are the answer. Using a patented breakthrough in neural network technology, Computer Associates has created the first software that can think. Imagine what this new software can do for your business. Nugents, software that can think.
My father started the Mettmann Manufacturing Company in 1942. Since then, the Mettmann name has become synonymous with ill-conceived products that carry the risk of serious physical injury. But we have made a little progress. We just signed up for this great service called Stamps.com. It lets you print your postage straight from your printer, and it's actually legal. It really comes in handy for all our recall notices. Get well cards and flowers for the families.
Welcome back. We call this part of the show Just One Question. And if there's one big question in the high-tech world this week, it's what to do about collecting sales tax on the internet. It's a potentially explosive issue, and Tuesday and Wednesday in San Francisco, in fact, a Congressional Commission on Electronic Commerce met to debate various proposals. One expert in the online economy who's been following the proceedings is Nicole Vanderbilt, Vice President at Jupiter Communications. We asked her, eventually, will electronic commerce be subject to the same taxes as retail sales?
I think it's inevitable that we will see internet commerce taxed. And when you're looking at almost an $80 billion market in the next 4 years, inevitably the government is going to look at that and see lots of lost sales tax revenue. And it's only fair that they try to recoup that in some way, shape, or form.
The Advisory Commission has until April to give its report to Congress. If there's something you'd like to report to us, here's our address, thedot@cnn.com. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. For all of us here at The Dot, I'm Perry Peltz. We hope to see you again next week.
Beginning in 13 days, 100 hours of non-stop around-the-world coverage. Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
The action, the excitement, the glory. The NFL on ESPN. From our studio shows to a full season of ESPN Sunday Night Football. ESPN has the best in-depth coverage of the NFL on and off the field. The NFL is on ESPN.
Sponsored locally by Ray Reese Dealerships, featuring Volkswagen, Isuzu, and Oldsmobiles at 122nd and East Burnside.
The action, the excitement, the glory. The NFL on ESPN. From our studio shows to a full season of ESPN Sunday Night Football. ESPN has the best in-depth coverage of the NFL on and off the field. The NFL is on ESPN.
Sponsored locally by Gold's Gym, with 14 locations in the Portland area. When it's time to join a gym, join a real gym, Gold's Gym.
A&E Mystery Theater.
It's the grand opening of Car Stereo City's new Clackamas store. And right now, get 2 free digital cell phones with AT&T's new Simple Family calling plan. With unlimited calling between your home phone and up to 5 digital cell phones. It's simple, it's AT&T, and it's better than free at Car Stereo City.
At your Safeway pharmacy, we're equipped with a state-of-the-art computer network
and an extensive selection of medicines, including money-saving generics. We accept just about every major health plan. We have highly trained professional pharmacists who are available to help you choose over-the-counter medicines and answer your medication questions. We've also got something other pharmacies can't beat, a full-service pharmacy located in the most convenient place in town.
CNN Today with Lou Waters and Natalie Allen, weekdays on CNN.
U.S. intelligence agencies launch a massive investigation into the background of a suspected terrorist. Will Baghdad agree to a new arms inspection program? We'll talk to the man who headed the last inspection effort in Iraq. And
an insult to the people of this city is an insult to people of color.
a police shooting that set off protests in New York City stirs renewed anger. Hello and welcome to CNN Saturday. I'm Gene Randall in Washington. A suspected terrorist is facing federal charges in Seattle after authorities say he tried to bring bomb-making materials into the United States. Officials say there is evidence the man may be linked to accused terrorist mastermind Osama bin Laden. More on the case and the suspect from CNN Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
In custody, a man who government officials say may have ties to suspected terrorist Osama bin Laden. The FBI is investigating and U.S. law enforcement is on full alert. Officials fear planning for a Millennium bombing attack was underway. The story begins with a routine search by U.S. Customs officials at a sleepy Pacific Northwest port. Tuesday, 6 p.m. at Port Angeles, Washington, a U.S. Customs Service inspector decides to check the trunk of a car on a ferry arriving from Victoria, British Columbia. The driver flees and is chased by two inspectors before being caught 6 blocks from the port. What they found in the trunk of his car has sparked an intensive international investigation. 4 timing devices, 40 ounces of a nitrogen-based liquid that appeared to be nitroglycerin, and more than 100 pounds of a white powder. Preliminary analysis shows the powder is urea, which can be used in bomb production. The suspect appeared at Federal District Court in Seattle Friday under heavy security. Court papers identified the man as Ahmed Rassam, 32, a native of Algeria. The paper suggests Rassam only planned to be in the U.S. a short period. He was arrested a day before he was scheduled to fly from Seattle to New York to London. Officials are concerned that Rassam might only have been a drop-off man and may have accomplices. The suspect had booked a room in a Best Western motel located not far from the Space Needle at Seattle Center. A New Year's celebration in that area is expected to draw 150,000. Officials caution not to draw final conclusions and say much remains unclear. But sources say the case is being treated very seriously, and they say they must investigate whether there's some sort of conspiracy at work. Pierre Thomas, CNN, Washington.
The U.S. Embassy in Quito, Ecuador is shut down until further notice. The State Department cites suspicious activity outside the embassy. Also closed the U.S. consulate in Guayaquil. A senior U.S. official says the closures are unrelated to the heightened state of alert recently imposed at U.S. facilities worldwide. Despite Iraq's initial reaction, there is said to be hope it will accept a new UN resolution that calls for resumed weapons inspections. That resolution passed yesterday could ease U.S. economic sanctions on Iraq. Baghdad officials called it trickery. More now from CNN's Andrea Koppel.
It wasn't the result the United States and Britain had been pushing for, but with 11 votes in favor and 4 abstentions, the United Nations Security Council agreed to send a new team of weapons inspectors back to Iraq. The White House said that presents Iraq's president with a fundamental decision if he wants sanctions lifted.
We are in a situation where Saddam Hussein's got to decide whether to give up his weapons program and rejoin the international community or to remain isolated.
A year ago this week, the United States and Britain did more than just threaten Iraq with continued sanctions. On December 16th last year, President Clinton ordered a 4-day intensive military campaign against Iraq to force Saddam Hussein to allow UN weapons inspectors to return to Baghdad to do their job.
Without a strong inspection system, Iraq would be free to retain and begin to rebuild its chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons programs in months, not years.
But more than a year after Baghdad ended its sporadic cooperation with the UN, at least one of those former inspectors believes the damage may have already been done.
Saddam Hussein has given no indication that he's given up his ambitions for any of these weapons of mass destruction, including nuclear weapons.
The head of the former UN weapons inspection team wonders whether this new inspection regime will ever be able to do its job.
There must be real questions about whether this new institution will have the same effectiveness as the one it's replacing.
Experts say the UN vote itself, with Russia, China, France, and Malaysia all abstaining, will do little to force the Iraqi president's hand. One senior U.S. official tried to sound optimistic, saying it took 8 months to negotiate this resolution. It may take another 8 months to implement it. Andrea Koppel, CNN, the State Department.
One man who is very familiar with the issue of arms inspections in Iraq is Richard Butler. He's the former chief of the UN Weapons Inspection Program. He joins us from New York. Mr. Butler, welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Gene.
Tell us more of what you touched on in Andrea Koppel's report, how this new arms inspection regime would differ from the one you headed.
Gene, it's got the same mandate, which is to disarm Iraq and to re-establish a monitoring system to see that Saddam doesn't make those weapons again in the future. But the organization to actually carry out the work would be very different from the one that it is replacing. I think it would be less independent. The way in which it recruited its staff would be different, and that raises questions about its expertise. And there would be a much higher degree of political control day by day over what it does. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but there are very real questions as to whether or not this new instrument would be able to get what is a tough job done and done properly.
Iraq's immediate reaction was to reject the deal. Do you think it was encouraged to take that position by the fact that there were 4 abstentions in the Security Council?
Oh, I have no doubt of that. I find this very sad indeed. You know, the first victims of this, Gene, are the Iraqi people. Once again, Saddam seems to have chosen a course where he prefers to have his weapons capability rather than see sanctions alleviated and the condition of his people improve. I don't know whether this rejection by Iraq is a permanent one, but it is serious, and those who abstained in the resolution vote obviously have a part of the responsibility for that.
Mr. Butler, if you were advising team members who will be part of this new effort, assuming that at some point they'll be able to go into Iraq, what advice would you give about the principal stumbling blocks you faced with your inspection regime?
Well, UNSCOM, the previous organization, has got the world's largest and best archive of information and material on Iraq and its weapons program. And one of the things that I recommended, and I'm very happy to see it is in the resolution adopted yesterday, is that all of those materials be handed over to the new organization so that they can work on that basis. As far as advice is concerned, stay as objective and scientific as possible and be utterly vigilant about the answers to questions and inquiries that Iraq offers. Too often those answers have been wrong and misleading, and they would be put under great political pressure, especially under this new system, to accept false answers. Don't do it. Keep your eye on the ball. It's about scientific fact. We're dealing with weapons, not politics, and that's the way ahead.
When your team ended its mission in Iraq involuntarily, what was the status of the weapons programs you were inspecting?
Gene, the last technical conversation I had with the Iraqi side was in the missile area, and I called to the attention of the general in charge of missiles that they were breaking the law. They were seeking to make new missiles fly longer, missiles that were against the limits imposed upon them. And he basically told me, how shall I put it, to get lost. Now, I think it's very clear that Iraq is back on the road of seeking to obtain a long-range missile capability. The other two areas, chemical and biological weapons, because we've not been there, we don't have precise evidence. But, Gene, given their track record of development and in the case of chemical weapons, use of those weapons, I think it would be utterly foolish to assume that in a year without inspections they haven't got back on the track again of making those weapons.
And the longer an inspection regime is not in place, how does the danger grow in your view?
It grows significantly. I wouldn't want to exaggerate it and say day by day, but it does grow significantly. Look, I refer you to the arms control community. There is a very, very expert body of people in this country and in other parts of the world who study these things, and they have been ringing the alarm bells this week at a level of detail that I'm not capable of. They are pointing out that this is serious, this is dangerous, especially in a situation where more exports to Iraq would start to flow as the result of alleviation of sanctions. Then they could be importing materials needed for their weapons program. They tried to do so recently around a medical machine having to do with liver stones. There were switches in that machine that they could have used for a nuclear program. Unfortunately, that was stopped at the last moment. And last week, just before this resolution was passed, they refused to accept inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency to look at their uranium stockpile, sending a very clear signal that maybe they really are back in the business of seeking to make a nuclear weapon. So, you know, the arms control community has made it very plain. This is dangerous. And as every day or month passes, that danger increases.
Former Chief UN Arms Weapons Inspector Richard Butler. Thank you, Mr. Butler, very much.
Thank you.
In the capital of Sri Lanka, 5 people are dead, more than 40 others injured after an explosion ripped through an open-air election rally. The blast hit just a few feet from where incumbent President Chandrika Kumanchuran was speaking. There is no word yet whether she was injured, and no one has yet claimed responsibility. Today is the last day of campaigning before Tuesday's presidential election in Sri Lanka. The campaign has been a bloody one with several violent incidents, including a failed assassination attempt on the life of Kumaratunga's challenger. President Clinton and the First Lady are reportedly considering asking the government to reimburse them for millions of dollars in legal fees. To date, the Clintons' legal bills from the Whitewater and Monica Lewinsky investigations amount to roughly $5 million. There are precedents. Ronald Reagan and George Bush got reimbursed for legal costs incurred during the Iran-Contra investigation. The decision to move the trial of 4 white New York police officers from the Bronx to upstate New York is sparking protests. As CNN's Maria Hinojosa reports, some say it reminds them all too much of another trial with racial overtones.
Once again in New York, demonstrators are charging the criminal justice system with racism. African immigrant Amadou Diallo was shot and killed by police in a hail of 41 bullets in his building in the Bronx. But the trial of the 4 white police officers accused in that shooting will be in Albany because an appellate court believes pretrial publicity has tainted the jury pool. The judges cited a poll that showed 81% of potential jurors in the Bronx believed the shooting was unjustified.
This is a semi-valid strategy.
Immediately, there have been comparisons to another high-profile case of police abuse, the case of Rodney King. Riots broke out when police officers were acquitted after their trial was moved from urban L.A. to a predominantly white suburb.
It was seen as wrong, as somehow disrespectful of the community and unfair to the victim to try that case in Simi Valley. And I think that we're going to see the same kind of sentiment expressed here with some justification.
If the trial had been held here in the Bronx, a black female judge would have presided over a predominantly non-white jury. In Albany, those statistics will be reversed. The pool of potential jurors will be predominantly white, and the judge will most certainly be white as well.
But it's not about race, it's about publicity. And that was what they cited in the ruling, is that the publicity here is so great that it's impossible to have a fair trial.
That publicity included days of massive demonstrations marked by celebrity arrests, full-page ads in New York papers, and magazine covers that heightened the racial politics of this case. The mayor has defended the change of venue decision.
I think the decision of the court was a very, very wise decision, and one that we should take very seriously beyond just that case.
This is an insult to the people of this state. This is an insult to the people of this city. This is an insult to people of color, that we're told we can't be objective, and even a judge that happens to be our race could not be objective.
Amadou Diallo's mother and father expressed dismay.
Amadou Diallo was living in the Bronx. He died in the Bronx. He deserved to have his justice in the Bronx.
Yet an Albany trial may not mean an end to New York protests. The coalition of Jews, Asians, blacks, and Latinos have vowed to make the 4-hour trip upstate. Maria Hinojosa, CNN, New York.
Tonight's rescheduled launch of the shuttle Discovery has been canceled because of bad weather. It is a repeat of yesterday's scrub, and NASA now is considering a Sunday launch. So far, the mission to repair the Hubble Space Telescope has been delayed 9 times. Still ahead, tales of the rich and famous, how big money can cause big problems.
Honey, there's not much time left. Are we ready for the baby? You know, financially.
Well, I wanted it to be a surprise, but I've been planning.
Tell me.
Listen, 7, 9, 15, 21. You see where I'm going?
No.
The lottery. I'm a lucky guy.
Lucky? I'm due in 4 weeks.
Hey, that gives us 4 more chances to win.
Don't be caught unprepared. Ask your financial advisor about the funds of Alliance Capital, the investment professional's choice. Do it now, because later is sooner than you think.
Thought I'd let my friends here help demonstrate a few key points of the Subaru Forester. Go ahead, boys. First, there's the added traction of full-time all-wheel drive. Better cornering than a Lexus RX 300. And did I mention it got the highest rating in its class in recent crash tests?
That's gotta hurt.
Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough, car easy.
Oh, I gotta spell it out for you?
It's HB. Oh, poor you.
Feel better? It's so far from TV. It's HB. All right, yeah.
Learn it, live it, love it. It is what it is.
Well, what is it then?
Don't make me state the obvious.
Bad, filthy American fun.
It's HB.
Oh my God. I think that's great.
Last year, I went to my sister's house for the holidays. It was great to be around the kids. Delicious meal. I had a wonderful time. Well, this holiday, I'm going to send them something from 1-800-Flowers.com because I can't make it this year. And I'm looking for some ideas, like a great centerpiece with a candle. Well, once you look around, you'll see how easy it is to find the right gift. I'm disappointed I can't be there, but this definitely makes up for it.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann from 1-800-Flowers.com. Visit us online or call us at 1-800-Flowers today.
It may be the dirty little secret of new money, the thousands of Americans who become rich quick in the booming economy and the recent boom in high-tech IPOs. As Bob Beer tells us, new money may know how to manage a business, but there are horror stories when it comes to managing household help.
Leonard Stover thought he'd seen it all in 30 years as a butler until he worked as house manager for an overnight multimillionaire. The staff faced accusations of theft, and some of the rules of the house over the top, he says.
We had to keep leaves, every leaf, off of the yard, the garden, the front. Every piece of mail, after it was read, the name and labels had to be taken all off of them, every magazine.
Leonard quit after a year.
What kinds of needs do you have?
Stories like his are nothing new to Barbara Goldberg Goldman. Calls to her placement agency for domestic help are up 75% this year, mainly from new additions to the estimated 3.5 million Americans, worth $1 million and more.
We hear stories about the ladies who require that the fringe on their oriental rugs need to be brushed with toothbrushes every other hour. But by the same token, for every horror story, we have 10 wonderful stories about people who really embrace their employees.
Stop. Okay, stop. Okay.
Meet Elise Lefkowitz, old money, daughter of a Washington builder married into a family flooring business.
Marby, Jackie, and Andre are going to come for dinner.
She likes fine food and personal service, but also treats her live-in staff like family. Elise even gave her staff a trip home to Paraguay for Christmas.
We respect them and they respect us. And I think that's the biggest difference, is the respect issue.
Leonard Stover's back in the business, but now getting respect from his new multimillionaire boss. His advice for the new rich hiring help: follow the golden rule.
They actually are an extension of your family. Give them a chance to do their jobs, and then don't be so picky with them. They're going to make mistakes, and you are too.
Bob Beard for CNN Financial News, Washington.
Ahead on CNN Saturday, a hostage drama at a jail in Louisiana, nearly a week old.
Son?
Yeah, Dad?
Your mom and I want to retire, but, we never saved any money. That's where you come in.
Huh?
What grade are you in now? Second? Third?
Third.
That's plenty of school. It's time you got a job.
But I can't multiply yet.
Well, I wouldn't let that slip out in an interview. Besides, you can read, right? Well, read this. The classifieds. Go get them, Tiger.
Don't be caught unprepared. Ask your financial advisor about the funds of Alliance Capital, the investment professional's choice. Do it now, because later is sooner than you think.
You know what I like about working at Office Depot during the holidays? Customers like Greg McCormick. He's so nice. His company makes peppermint candy canes, and he loves giving them out to just about everyone while he does his holiday shopping. He also loves saving money on everything he buys. Lucky for us, though, the holidays come only once a year. All that candy gets to be pretty tempting.
Shop Office Depot, online or in our store.
Thanks for shopping Office Depot.
Here, have a candy.
Bye.
By refinancing, we saved $600 a month.
Being self-employed and a student was no problem at all.
We were able to eliminate some 18 to 20% credit cards.
Superior gave me the help just when I needed that help.
Do what thousands of homeowners have already done. Call Superior direct at 1-888-678-7777.
Morning News, weekdays 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on CNN.
Other stories making news in our CNN Saturday Notebook. In Louisiana, police are stepping up pressure on inmates holding 7 hostages at a St. Martinville jail. Authorities say they have the inmates and prisoners isolated to one small room and are letting no one in or out. The 6 inmates, 5 Cubans and a Bahamian, took the hostages 6 days ago. The Florida teenager accused of sending a threat over the internet to a student at Columbine High School in Colorado is in jail without bond. 18-year-old Michael Ian Campbell was arrested yesterday at his home near Fort Myers, Florida. A detention hearing is scheduled for Wednesday. The threat was made through an America Online chat room. Environmental activist Julia Hill plans to climb down from an ancient redwood tree where she has spent the last 2 years. Hill is protesting against logging in the Headwaters Forest Complex in Northern California. We're told she's reached a deal with Pacific Lumber and that she and the company plan a joint announcement a few hours from now. Time for checking the weather, and here is Orlin Sidney. Orlin?
Thanks a lot, Gene. It is still raining in parts of the southeastern U.S., and we're seeing a developing low-pressure storm across the northwest. This one could be significant by tomorrow. Right now, it doesn't look like much. There's just some scattered snow showers and a little bit of rain around an area of low pressure. But as this moves out of the Rockies and into the plains, it's expected to intensify, and we could see some winter storm conditions across parts of the Dakotas and maybe even as far south as Nebraska tomorrow. Some winter storm watches have already come up for late tonight across the western portion of North Dakota, and then tomorrow for the central and eastern portions of North Dakota. Down to the south, we've got a few thunderstorms. I was kind of surprised not to see any severe activity here earlier this morning. We had some pretty large storms, but not too much going on there but rain, and not much going on here but snow. As we go on into tomorrow morning, most of the snow you will notice will be off to the east and also the southeast. Around Rapid City in this area, out of their Weather Service office, they're calling for 4 to 8 inches of new snow by tomorrow. Down at Grand Junction, 4 to 10 inches. And notice that we're seeing a decrease in the amount we expected earlier across the west. Less than 3 inches expected across northern portions of Washington. So conditions are improving for you. Here's the low pressure storm. You can see it wrapping up very well. An area of low pressure now with a trough extending down into Colorado. Later on in the map, that's going to be a cold front. We also have a front here that's linking up with a trough of low pressure across Florida, causing some problems for the shuttle launch today. There's a 20% chain of rain, should be chance of rain, or 40% chance of rain as we go through this afternoon. 30% for tonight, down to 20% for tomorrow. So things look a lot better on the forecast for Florida as we go into Sunday. Here's that big storm system, though. Notice we get snow stretching from the Dakotas southward into Kansas. Gene?
Thanks, Orlin. When we come back, the passing of a jazz master. Stay with us.
You play this.
Honey, there's not much time left. Are we ready for the baby? You know, financially.
Well, I wanted it to be a surprise, but I've been planning.
Tell me.
Listen, 7, 9, 15, 21. You see where I'm going?
No.
The lottery. I'm a lucky guy.
Lucky? I'm due in 4 weeks.
Hey, that gives us 4 more chances to win.
Don't be caught unprepared. Ask your financial advisor about the funds of Alliance Capital, the investment professional's choice. Do it now, because later is sooner than you think.
Around here, you can't buy a reputation for quality. You have to earn it, the way Wall did. Wall invented the first electric clipper 80 years ago, right here in America's heartland. And they're still the choice of millions of professionals worldwide. Today, Wall makes products for home, too. A whole line of clippers, trimmers, and shavers, all backed by the Wall family commitment to innovation and value. That's what being a leader is all about. Wall, bringing quality and value home.
How do you balance what you want and what you need? At American General Financial Group, our 8,000 consumer loan specialists are here to help. For little things, for big things. Come to us, or we'll come to you. Over a cup of coffee, or even over the phone. We'll help you live the life you've imagined. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
To get around these parts, they say you need dogs. Good thing I got my new Subaru Outback. It's got loads of cargo space, toasty seat warmers, and something you won't find on your average sport utility. The added traction of full-time all-wheel drive. It's the perfect way to get around, even when you're way out here. Now, as for the dogs, they're not much help if you ask me. Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon.
Jazz saxophonist Grover Washington Jr. died suddenly last night in New York. His publicist says the 56-year-old musician died of an apparent heart attack after taping a TV show. Washington was an icon of the musical style that blended jazz and soul music. CNN's Kira Phillips has more.
Grover Washington Jr. arrived on the jazz scene almost 30 years ago. In the years that followed, he played for legends and presidents, including a performance at the presidential gala for another saxophonist, Bill Clinton. Washington was born in Buffalo, New York, and was introduced to music as a youngster by his saxophone-playing father. He was playing in his own band by the time he was a teenager. Washington honed his skills in jazz clubs, and by the early 1970s, he was starting to make a name for himself. His most successful album, Wine Light, was released in 1980. It earned 2 Grammy Awards and included the hit Just the Two of Us. Through it all, he was quick to thank those musicians who inspired him and to credit his early training in classical music.
All of those tools and all those basics that I learned from classical music, they still benefit me today. The use of, say, like a rubato, like a slowing up in the melody. Instead of playing it like this, you play this. You slow it up and you feel the notes. You want to make the notes flow like lyrics coming right off your tongue. I just tried to pay attention the way a vocalist would, because I am actually singing through this. I think the music opens up a window to the soul so that people can see you and feel you.
Our top stories in just a moment.
On CNN's Evans, Novak, Hunt, and Shields, syndicated columnist Art Buchwald brings us some holiday cheer. Today, 5:30 Eastern on CNN.
Men, do you want to see your abs and increase muscle definition? Women, how would you like a toned body with cellulite-free hips and thighs? Turn these visions into reality with the best-selling video, Fitness Made Simple, hosted by fitness celebrity John Bastow.
In 8 weeks, I totally transformed my body from this to this. Fitness Made Simple worked for me, and it can work for you too.
Order Fitness Made Simple by calling toll-free and be on the way to building the body of your dreams.
When you watch AT&T Cable, what do you see? Something hilarious? Something amazing? Something exciting? We see the future. Digital cable, with more of the things you're looking for. Designed to bring you what you want, when you want it. And this is just the start. We see a world of possibilities, and soon you'll see it too. From AT&T Cable Services. Stay tuned.
100 hours of Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
Hello, I'm Gene Randall in Washington. Just ahead, Science and Technology Week, but first, some headlines. U.S. officials say a man being held in Seattle, Washington may be linked to accused terrorist mastermind Osama bin Laden. Ahmed Rassam of Algeria has been charged with bringing 2 jars of flammable explosive nitroglycerin into this country from Canada. Officials say his car also contained more than 100 pounds of potentially explosive material. A new United Nations resolution is the source of new friction with Iraq. Passed by the Security Council yesterday, the measure would ease economic sanctions on Iraq if Baghdad agrees to a new weapons inspection program. So far, Iraqi officials are giving the resolution a thumbs down, calling it a UN trick. Jazz saxophonist Grover Washington Jr. is dead. He died suddenly last night in New York. His publicist says Washington suffered an apparent heart attack after taping a morning TV show. Washington was an icon of the musical style that blended jazz and soul music. In 1996, he played at President Clinton's 50th birthday celebration. Grover Washington Jr. was 56. I'm Gene Randall. More news at the top of the hour. Now, Science and Technology Week.
This is CNN.
Satellite images show the Earth as we've never seen it. Online retailers give shoppers a human being to talk to. And Christmas trees by computer. Those stories and more just ahead on Science and Technology Week. Welcome, I'm Ann Kellen. Satellite pictures of Earth keep getting better, and this week some remarkable images were made public. They're from Landsat 7, the newest and most powerful of the Landsat satellites, which was launched in April. As Don Knapp reports, the program uses satellite images to document how the Earth changes over time.
Ever since Mount St. Helens erupted in 1980, researchers have been studying how the land has changed, not only up close at ground level, but from way out in space. These are the latest images produced by the sharp eyes of a government satellite known as Landsat 7.
We can see the conditions then. We can see the conditions shortly after the eruption when just a huge area was totally deforested, literally burned off. And now, I think we're probably some 15 years after the fact, you can start seeing a light pinkish hue, which in near infrared is saying vegetation is growing back. It's starting to reforest.
27 years of images have tracked the loss of rainforests in South America, as well as the clear-cutting of forests in the U.S. Northwest.
Clear-cut areas show up quite readily, and it shows that we ourselves need to look at what's going on in our own backyard as far as the deforestation.
Landsat satellites have watched from space as glaciers have shrunk more than 4 miles over the past decade or so. This is a computer-animated view of Glacier Bay, Alaska, based on new images from Landsat 7. These images of the North Carolina coast after Hurricanes Floyd and Irene show the heavy deposits of silt and farm runoff in coastal waters. And these show the increasing summer temperatures around Atlanta, Georgia, a condition scientists say is related to the loss of trees.
It's a phenomenal database. It's the most unique record of its type. It's like having a family photo album of anywhere in the globe. And if you don't think you've changed over time, just look at your pictures of the last 20 or 25 years.
Now, as Landsat 7 begins its work as the last in a series of Earth observers, NASA readies an even more sophisticated satellite, Terra. Once it's working, Terra is expected to take the vital signs of the globe, including ocean temperatures, energy loss, and even the state of the atmosphere, every day. For Science and Technology Week, I'm Don Knapp.
Weather disasters have touched every corner of the globe this century, based on intensity, uniqueness, and impact on human lives. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has unveiled its choices of the biggest climate events of the past 100 years. CNN's Marsha Walton has more.
From years of famine on the continents of Africa and Asia to the drought and erosion known as the Great Dust Bowl of the United States in the 1930s, weather disasters this century have claimed millions of lives and changed economics and lifestyles due to vast population migration. In unveiling the century's most dramatic weather events, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says better forecasting is saving lives.
20 years ago, by and large, the first notification of a tornado was when a tornado touched down. Now, on average, we get 13 minutes lead time, in some cases much greater than 13 minutes.
But the help of weather technology depends a lot upon where you live.
Hurricane Mitch hit 3 countries in Central America last year with 9,000 fatalities.
Among the other top weather events in the U.S. this century,
Hurricane Camille, which was on the Gulf Coast, and Hurricane Andrew, both of which did tremendous amounts of devastation from a property point of view.
And a hurricane in 1900 that killed more than 8,000 people in Galveston, Texas. Globally, over the past 100 years, typhoons have ravaged Japan, China, and the Philippines. Cyclones have killed up to 500,000 people in Bangladesh. The Caribbean, Latin America, and the U.S. have coped with brutal tropical storms. Flooding, especially in Asia, tornadoes, drought, and other major weather events have impacted the entire globe. The warm currents of the Pacific, known as El Nino, also made the forecasters' list. Knowledge about it is increasing dramatically.
In 1997, 2 seasons before the El Nino event occurred, we forecast it.
Kelly says a look back at the century has both shown what advances forecasting has made and reminded us how vulnerable we are to the power of nature. For Science and Technology Week, I'm Marsha Walton.
Would you like to be flying on a small plane at midnight on New Year's Eve? Later in the show, we'll find out what the experts say about Y2K and general aviation. And up next, what makes a top e-commerce website? Technology is only part of the answer. We'll be right back with that.
Science and Technology is brought to you by MCI 5 cents every day, 5 cents a minute every evening, and all weekend long.
Hi, I'm Michael Jordan.
I'm Elmer Fudd.
Big news. America's going crazy for MCI 5 cents every day. Now it's 5 cents a minute every evening and all weekend long.
Now, a roving reporter. Let's find out how a typical American feels about MCI's 5 cents every day offer. I'm speechless. I'm soaked.
Now, Michael, so just call 1-800 every day to join.
Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Can a computer think? Can it learn? Can software be developed that acts exactly like the human brain? For 50 years, that's been the question. Today, Nugents are the answer. Using a patented breakthrough in neural network technology, Computer Associates has created the first software that can think. Imagine what this new software can do for your business. Nugents, software that can think.
Mark John Jeffries here for People PC. Many people wonder how good a computer People PC can possibly offer for just $24.95 a month, along with unlimited internet access, in-home service, and great deals. Is a People PC computer a no-name piece of free-world junk? No, my friend, it's not. It's a brand you know with all the power you need to send emails, manage your finances, and play important new video games. How can People PC offer such a fine machine, unlimited internet access, in-home service, and great deals, all for just $24.95 per month? To find out, visit peoplepc.com or call 1-800-PEOPLE-PC. I hope this clears up any ambiguity. Thank you, and God bless.
You can get an Epson Stylus Color 660 printer for the incredibly low price of just $99 if you join People PC today. Just visit peoplepc.com.
Not long ago, pundits predicted the internet would revolutionize shopping. No more sales clerks breathing down your neck. Well, a funny thing happened. Companies found out that some shoppers didn't like being left alone, especially in the cold reaches of cyberspace. The result? The cyber clerk. Rick Lockridge has the story.
I would say that I'm the person that helps the customer shop and make decisions.
You may never meet Darsha Torres in real life, but she might just fit you into a pair of flannel pants or give you the gift idea that gets you out of a jam.
And we'll get that out by priority mail.
Darsha is a cyber clerk. Her job didn't even exist 3 months ago, but now Land's End has 500 others like her, filling a Dilbertville of cubicles at the company's 2 call centers in central Wisconsin.
For $26?
Please have you spell your last name.
The thermoskins also are offered in petite.
The main job of the Land's End cyber clerk is to make sure customers can find what they want amidst the 90,000 items available on this, the busiest apparel website in the world during its busiest season. But apart from helping you pick the right sizes and match colors, a job that sometimes means a dash to the back room where one of everything Land's End sells is kept handy for just that purpose. Cyber clerks know customers sometimes just want another human being to keep them company in the cold, sterile corridors of cyberspace.
Land's End Internet, this is Darsha. How may I help you?
Oh, let's see, Darsha. Can you pay all my bills?
I wish I could.
So now you have this human element that can help you answer questions, give you fashion advice that you could never program into a website. And we really think that that level of customer service is where the Internet's moving to.
But there's another big reason why many companies are now adding cyber clerks. Internet surveys show that as many as 2/3 of all online shoppers back out at the point of purchase. They fill up their shopping carts, get all the way to that last click, and then bail out. Many companies are now hoping that sending in cyber clerks will help complete those transactions.
That's right. We're adding real people behind the website.
Manu Kumar's company Sneaker Labs makes software that enables cyber clerks to pop up suddenly on an e-shopper's computer and chat with them instant message style. The clerks can approach customers first or wait for customers to summon them. Either way, Kumar says there was one feature he knew had to be included.
We have a big button in the middle which says, "No thanks, just browsing." So the intent, and we kept the language there exactly the same as the interaction in a retail store.
Are you on Cheyenne Road?
Yes. On the Land's End site, the customer can choose to chat by voice or text. Custom software allows the cyber clerk to take control of the customer's web browser and steer them from one product page to another. There's also a Shop with a Friend button, which enables 2 people thousands of miles apart to shop and chat at the same time, viewing the same pages as they go. And if you're not sure something will fit, there's a Build Your Own Mannequin button. You plug in your own measurements and take a look.
And then try clothes on for fit and to style, and you can spin the model 360 degrees so you can see it from all angles.
Land's End's aggressive web strategy has already doubled last year's web sales from $61 million to more than $150 million. And the site recently placed first in reliability, accuracy, and customer satisfaction in a survey of large e-commerce sites, beating even perennial frontrunner Amazon.com. But Bill Bass is still tinkering.
Because the Internet is the most competitive medium there is. A customer is literally just one click away from any other site on the Internet. So if you're not providing the absolute best level of service, they're going to go someplace else. So every company is sitting there trying to think about how do you keep moving the bar higher and higher and higher and higher.
Isn't it reaffirming to find that just because the revolutionary technology of the Internet can replace people doesn't mean it must, or even should?
Thank you very much.
For Science and Technology Week, I'm Rick Lockridge.
If there's a power outage on New Year's Day or the planes are running late, is Y2K to blame? Probably not, according to some experts. That's up next.
Dot Commentary is brought to you by Sun Microsystems. We're the dot in .com.
Unleash power, sell more per hour, get business going, keep it growing, change ammunition, kill competition, unlock data, make profits fatter, take sharper aim, boost market gain, save more time, more peace of mind, forge better ties, economize, link devices without a crisis. Our technology is hot, we are the dot.
You're a dead man. You ever shoot a man who's looking you in the eye, Charlie? It's a whole different story, isn't it?
Chris Christopherson and Matthew McConaughey in the Superstation premiere of Lone Star, 8:05 Eastern tonight, only on the Superstation.
Sunday on CNN and Time. For the last 70 years, Time magazine has honored the people who, for better or worse, have influenced our lives.
We want to be able to say it was because of this person that we live differently now than the way we used to live.
From politics to business to world affairs, which of these men and women will be named Time magazine's 1999 Person of the Year? A CNN and Time special, Sunday, 9 Eastern on CNN.
Anything that goes wrong on January 1st will probably be blamed on the Y2K computer glitch. But the White House wants you to know some New Year's Day problems may just be everyday bumps in the road. Kelly Wallace reports.
Every day, ATM machines run out of cash, flights don't take off on time, and power outages leave residents in the dark. That may not surprise you, but the White House is hammering home the point to prevent panic if there are any such glitches on January 1st.
And our concern, obviously, is that anything that goes wrong, starting in New Zealand at 6 o'clock on Friday morning, but running through the weekend, will automatically be presumed to be a Y2K failure.
To help judge which failures may be Y2K related and which may be everyday occurrences, the president's Y2K chief has released a set of benchmarks. For example, the White House says on average, 424 flights were delayed on the last 5 New Year's days. Households, on an average, experience 13 hours of power outages per year, not including shutdowns caused by major storms. And as many as 2% of the nation's 227,000 ATMs are down every day.
Let's face it, if you walked up to 30 ATMs on January 1st, ballpark one of them should not be working anyway.
The federal government's Y2K Operations Center is one place where glitches will be examined to sort out which are due to computers misinterpreting the year 2000 as the year 1900, or which are everyday failures.
Even those on the inside will have difficulty diagnosing the cause of problems.
And that means we may not know till well after January 1st which problems were caused by the Y2K bug and which were not.
Administration officials say there will be glitches, but that they don't expect any major national or regional ones, and that local failures won't be serious. Kelly Wallace, CNN, the White House.
The major airlines and the Federal Aviation Administration say it will be perfectly safe to fly commercially around New Year's. But what about the small private planes that make up general aviation in the U.S.? Are they in danger from Y2K problems? CNN's Charles Feldman, a pilot himself, checked it out.
If it isn't a commercial airliner or a military transport, it's general aviation. Nearly 200,000 small, privately owned aircraft, sometimes flown for business, but more often than not, for pleasure. How vulnerable, if at all, are these planes to the Y2K problem? The largest insurer of general aviation aircraft has sent out some 100,000 notices to pilots over the past few months, advising them to avoid flying the last few days of the year. Although in an interview, the company is choosing its words more carefully.
If I was to rewrite it today, rather than saying avoiding flying, I would simply say take more prudent cautions. Particularly make sure that their avionics are working properly on the ground before they take off.
The avionics he's talking about are the aircraft's electronic radios, one of the few pieces of electronic equipment on board small aircraft. The other major concern has been for global positioning systems, GPS for short, such as this one that helps pilots navigate by satellite. But the so-called rollover day for the new millennium for GPS systems was actually back in August.
So those of us that fly with these generally had to really check those back in August and are pretty well assured that they're going to work when the actual date occurs.
But what may or may not work are runway lighting systems at small general aviation airports.
The FAA has certified that the 500-some air carrier airports are compliant to Y2K, but they have not looked at the other 4,800 airports that serve general aviation.
The FAA says those 4,800 airports are not certified by the agency because they are either under private or municipal ownership. Additionally, the FAA says it is very confident in the safety of the nation's airspace system. But for general aviation pilots, caution remains the watchword. Some pilots have already decided to celebrate the new millennium on the ground. For Science and Technology Week, I'm Charles Feldman.
Coming up, Christmas trees for sale on the internet. But will people buy a tree without shaking the branches and smelling the piney aroma?
Hi, I'm Michael Jordan.
I'm Elmer Fudd.
Big news. America's going crazy for MCI 5 cents every day. Now it's 5 cents a minute every evening and all weekend long.
Now, a roving reporter. Let's find out how a typical American feels about MCI's 5 cents everyday offer.
I'm speechless.
I'm soaked.
Now, Michael, so just call 1-800 every day to join.
Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Last year, I went to my sister's house for the holidays. It was great to be around the kids, delicious meal. I had a wonderful time. Well, this holiday, I'm gonna send them something from 1-800-Flowers.com, because I can't make it this year. And I'm looking for some ideas, like a great centerpiece with a candle. Well, once you look around, you'll see how easy it is to find the right gift. I'm disappointed I can't be there, but this definitely makes up for it.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann from 1-800-Flowers.com. Visit us online or call us at 1-800-Flowers today.
Scientists in New Orleans say they have made a breakthrough that could help save endangered species. This kitten is an African wildcat, a rare species. It was born to an ordinary house cat. Researchers at the Audubon Institute combined sperm and eggs from African wildcats and implanted the embryo in the domestic cat. They say it's the first successful frozen embryo birth where the mother and baby are of two different species. Scientists hope the procedure could be used in the future to bring back species after they have gone extinct in the wild. For those who don't have time to stand in line at the Christmas tree lot, there is a new alternative. Buying a fresh fur is now just a simple mouse click away, as long as you don't mind giving up a few traditions. Mary Flum explains.
Cecil Hess is on the cutting edge of the Christmas tree industry. He's branching out this season through the internet.
This is the first year that I've got orders online. It's interesting. We'll see where it goes.
Where Hess's box trees are going all over the U.S.
Where's that going, the tree?
That's going to St. Louis.
St. Louis. I'll take it out there tomorrow.
According to the National Christmas Tree Association, over 300,000 Christmas trees were sold online last year. The consumers surfing the internet. That number pales in comparison to the 32 million trees sold to consumers who shopped in person. But industry insiders expect cyber sales to rise significantly. Tree sites allow consumers to select the variety and size of a tree. Most pledge delivery within 4 to 7 days at prices ranging from $30 to $70. We recently ordered a Fraser fir from Pennsylvania. The tree arrived in Atlanta within a week. Its condition? It smells fresh. So could the internet make this scene a part of Christmas past?
Yeah, you gonna give me a hug? No. Yeah, give me a hug.
Tree farmer Jim Herberman, otherwise known as Santa Claus, says no way.
If you want the traditional part, you're losing it online because you call it you know, on the computer, and the tree is shipped to you. But you don't know what you're really getting till you get it.
Santa's customers, most of whom cut down their own trees at the North Georgia farm, agree.
If you could walk all the way around the tree online, maybe, you pick one, you have to kind of walk around it and see what side's bare and what side's full.
Buying it online, that's a little fake for me.
Wow, Mitch, look at that!
Your own tree, huh?
Traditionalists argue cyber shopping prevents them from discovering the season's hidden treasures.
Okay.
For some consumers, mail-order trees still belong to Christmas future.
For Science and Technology Week, I'm Mary Flum.
You missed the smell, though. You missed that smell. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ann Kellen. Next week, it looks like a regular book, but it could be part of a con game that preys on Y2K fears, millennium scams, on the next Science and Technology Week. We'll see you then.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Bell Atlantic, your guide through the wiles of communications.
I'm Orlin Sidney from the CNN Weather Center. Your winter travel conditions in the west could give you some trouble today. These are not amounts expected in these exact locations. These are some of the advisories that have come out of these local National Weather Service offices. So it gives you an idea of what you might expect in some of the regions there, especially up into the mountains in the Idaho Panhandle and back into Missouri. Looks like you could see some snow getting going also across the Dakotas as we head on through the afternoon and evening hours and into tonight, tomorrow morning. Heaviest snows will be down to the south. The area around Grand Junction could see up to 10 inches of snow. Rapid City could see snow as well as the storm system continues to work its way inland now. It's not really very well developed. Currently, it doesn't look too impressive on the satellite picture or even on radar. Satellite looks a little bit better than the radar itself, as this is pretty scattered precipitation around our low-pressure center. This trough, though, should develop into a cold front a little bit later. You'll see the front swing down then into the plain states as we head on into tomorrow. Some showers and snow will be seen as far south, of course, as we said, the Denver area perhaps. But most of it's going to be moving more eastward than anything else. And your rain-snow line should be somewhere south of Des Moines, probably around Kansas City, and then extending back into parts of Kansas. There's also an area of low pressure off the Gulf Coast now. This is developing some pretty strong thunderstorms with waterspouts across parts of the Mobile Bay. This will be moving inland a little bit later on today.
Just after the break on CNN Saturday, airline records raise a red flag about a suspected terrorist arrested in Seattle. We'll have the latest. And after another delay, NASA still hopes for a 1999 shuttle launch. Stay with us.
Beginning in 13 days, 100 hours of non-stop around-the-world coverage. Millennium 2000, only on CNN.
News breaks like you wouldn't believe. A big story hits and we're all over it. Work the phones. Who can we get? OJ, Million Man March, Rabin assassination. Politics hits the road. International, book a satellite, whatever it takes. Sometimes we change the show 10 minutes before we're on the air because you never know what's going to happen. Never.
Brought to you by your local Jeep dealer, home of the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee.